Okay, we're live again. I'm awake. It's been holidays. Apparently, my body decided it needed how many hours of sleep? 15 or something retarded. Yeah, so I just woke up. We're super late on Second Impact, but we're not gonna, quit it or whatever. It's not like I'm super sleep deprived or something. Like that would ever happen. Right. Okay. Not gonna, Echo, where is that coming from? You foul criminal, yo. Alright. So we're gonna go ahead and get straight to it. Justice. Great. Alright. So, today's Second Impact will be a little bit more lengthy because we pretty much didn't do one last week. We did like half of one, so we'll be doing 1.5 today. We have a lot of content to cover, so it's gonna be good. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. So the first replay we're gonna look at is Kumojaki's replay. Now. We may have watched a little bit of this yesterday, but I was super asleep. Let me see what this was. This was okay. I kind of recall watching this, but we'll watch a little bit of this from the top to the bottom. Usually I start from the bottom to the top. Bottom to the top, I stop. From the core to the middle. Alright, okay, sorry. I don't remember those lyrics well enough. In the middle of my thoughts. Something. Damn it. Alright. Okay, so we're watching Kumojaki, who's staying still. Again, like, I think I actually said this last week in my Have a Sleep stupor, but generally when I'm watching something like RX-98, because there's not too much suit-specific stuff we can talk about other than, things like using assist properly and whatchamacallit. We just want to talk about things like, using your on angles and just, spacing properly and mashing your cursor. Ooh. So, that was an interesting choice to stay still there. A lot of people, I think, would get a little scared over the fact that he's doing pressure and try and tech and move away before it comes out. Nice block. Doesn't get punished for it too, so really scary. I think Prototype could have punished it if he was paying attention, but very good reaction there. Yeah, so we have landing punishes. That's great. We have anti-melees. That's great too. Whoa, a little bit scary there. And eventually he gets punished for it. So literally, right? Turnaround shots, right? We want to stay on angle. So it is not a exaggeration to say the reason why he got hit here and by a melee during charge shot B of Zaku 3's in addition, which is extremely painful. Alright, it's like 250. Alright, this is literally all because he did that turnaround shot at a very scary time when Zaku 3 was pretty close. So it's literally due to the fact that he did that turn on shot and wasted a lot of boosts, and then he was really close, so he's like shedding to get away, so he started using some a lot of inefficient boosting. Or he boost and he landed, and yeah, that's what happens. So I don't know about this. Oh, that was not his activate, never mind. So here, okay, this is okay. Okay, so it didn't end up being okay. I think he could have cut. I actually probably would have tried to go for a melee there. I like this melee. Fortunately, that happens. What's up on Bad Dota? You could have, for example, activated there and Rainbow Step to avoid that shot, but perhaps he didn't. No, again, yeah, turnaround shots. Gotta watch out for those. Now, it's true that nice high alto. That would have been a really good high alto there. So it's true that I also disagree with this play here. If you look at his partner's health, which you cannot see, he's actually at pretty good life with regard to his partner. I mean, they're gonna die, right? But they're doing pretty all right. Is his partner 3K? I don't remember what his partner is. It's not really important for this. So I don't really approve of this kind of turtling here when he's really not that much lower. Oh, it's 3K. Okay, really not that much lower. Especially with his full burst. So he really wants to use this full burst, and I think probably one of the biggest problems with this match, aside from making those mistakes with the turnaround shots that ultimately led to his death and dying at a time when it was, it would have been nice for him to finish off that melee combo. But again, that was his neutral B, so perhaps if he had used 6B or something, I think that might not have happened. But in any case, another big thing was his extreme meter usage here. So he hasn't activated at all. He's at full, or did he activate once? No, I don't think he did. So he's like almost at full. He's almost at full, and he hasn't done anything really this match with his meter, and that's a problem. You want to do stuff with your meter. Again, like, easiest way to get better at this game, focus on health management, meter management, and on-end goals. Those 3 things are really huge. Those are the big 3 things about like being how to play solidly, and of course like spacing, and we can talk about those things, right? But definitely at least the 2, meter management and health management. Those are the big fundamental building blocks of what we call like strategy and all those stuff, right? Those are things that the better you are at it, just the better your overall play is going to be. It's going to be really smooth, and yeah. Just like using meter in a fighting game, right? Using meter is really important. You don't want to do this kind of thing where you've really wasted it. Now, it's true that some people prefer to have the full as a 2K on your second life. And it depends on your suit as well. Some suits are a little more defensive or have trouble utilizing a half meter might use a reactionary full on their second life. But generally the way this usually plays out is if you see a good opportunity to use your half, take it. And if you don't get that opportunity, then oh well, you have your full, but it's not the end of the world with this kind of suit. But there were a lot of opportunities to take a half here, or create opportunities for a half, and he didn't do that, and that's what happens. So part of using your meter well is playing around your meter. I say that a lot, but it really is important. Is playing with your meter in mind, especially in this version. It's very, very, very important. All right, now let's go ahead and continue here. So again, I think he should be moving up here. It takes just him a while, and he's finally in the action here. You see that he's playing deep here. He gets that BR. That's good. Yeah, so. Ooh, this worked. This is really risky though. But it pays off, and maybe they can win now. Looks like he was okay. Ooh, interesting choice to use Hayato there. I think he could have actually just meleeed him. And this activates is of course the worst scenario, but it looks like they can win here. They should win from Hayato, right? Oh, never mind. So it looks like AC also had a full. Actually, wait, no, he that was a half. He activated in the first round. So I think I did get your email, Sherry. I actually don't know. If you did send it, it was sorted properly as long as you put it in. Okay. Okay, so Kumo with a 2.5. So I like this moving up here by both of them. They have a decent, middle of the stage presence. Need more of these turns. You notice here how just suddenly, he boosted forward towards the screen and hopped, and he landed facing us, and then he manually kind of like turned his suit around. first of all, you don't need to manually turn right. It's faster to just boost, you know, towards them or whatever, or turn. But that could have all been remedied just by, you know, making sure you revolve while you land. So, you know, definitely, everybody, you know, if you're having these kind of problems, practice turning and swerving. So important. So important. Just practicing on angle. Being on angle all the time. It's just, you know, really, really useful overall. Ooh. So, looked like he saw that landing. He saw, oh, he's gonna land soon. Try and punish it. But he's getting hit by a lot of these IWSP subs, and you know that's kind of the matchup thing. Is you really have to respect IWSP. Good. Oh, looks like he did not get that actually. Ah, watch out behind you. Ah, see that turnaround. I mean, it didn't really matter because he canceled his sub. But even just turning around for a little bit is, you know, it's more boost and it's more it's more of everything. You know, it's more time for you to get hit. It's really important. At least on health, they're doing pretty well. We're not really going to talk about things like counteracting the opponent's health right now because we're just going to talk about, you know, watch his movement. I don't know about this block. It works. I guess it didn't work. Yeah. There wasn't really a dire situation. Maybe he thought it was a dire situation, and if so, that is a. You can punish this. Oh. Okay. So he has half here, right? 63 health. That's pretty manageable. You can do it something right here, right here. Watch out for IWSP. Yeah. Building. Yeah. That's a problem. So Kumo's playing pretty well here. His opponent's making a lot of mistakes actually in terms of movement. So he's getting a lot of kind of what I would say is free hits in. So this match looks pretty one-sided. But I would have liked to see. There were a couple really good points to activate, which he didn't. And about 50% of the time, he ended up being safe and hitting them too. But I think that his opponents were making a lot of movement mistakes, and it was pretty easy to punish. Like I think both of them kind of messed up their movement, and I think some of the shots probably, while they worked, it would have been more well practiced to try and use your extreme burst to do that. So mainly on angle, just hammer on the on angle, and extreme usage. Basically, especially you should be looking at your meter, especially when you're around like 45%, when you're like a tick or two away from the meter. That's when you want to really start working out. Like, okay, I'm gonna get in activate really soon. And sometimes you can have a very, very happy accident where whoopsies. Sometimes you can have a really happy accident where you get into 50 like by hitting somebody. And it's very rare for that to happen, but sometimes it does, and it's really, really awesome because you can really get some nice situations happening due to it. So here, I'd say actually a little bit of execution for Kumo is Kumo needs to work on his execution a little bit. He drops a lot of VRs, I'd say. So I really don't like that. Really don't like that. But I'll let that slide. But that's really, 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 really risky. Just be aware of how risky this is. This is extremely risky because Leo could have hit you if he did anything, but he wasn't doing anything. So he has his full at 23. It's not really exactly where we want to be, but I would have liked to activate here. But fortunately, his opponent is knocked down. So, oh, but it still doesn't matter. So an activate there would have been really good. Really good. So I think you could have Garo beat ACD's landing there. Yes, even with such low HP, because he was basically gonna die. Like, we'll actually replay this because you can pretty much tell. I actually thought he was gonna die there, but I was wrong because I didn't know that Strike was being knocked down. But due to the landing recovery, anyways, he got like meleeed on his wake up, so it didn't really matter. It would have been a really sticky situation. It might have possibly been avoidable, but we'll go ahead and rewatch this scenario play out. Let's see. Just for reference, is anybody else who submitted for today's Second Impact? I know it was late and off scheduled. So if you were here to schedule, so I really don't like this Gabby is about to just watch this here, because so he notices this is gonna miss, and he should, I don't know, the O should just be shooting him here. He doesn't. He just does like a sidestep. And that went on there, but yeah. So here, 89. Wait, I thought he was at 63. Does he get hit later? Oh, he got 23. So, okay, so, okay. First quiz question today, and also again, like I said before, if you are here in the chat and submitted for this week, let me know. I know Thug is here, so anyone other than Thug who submitted and is here, let me know, because it is getting kind of late and we're off schedule. So I want to do the replays of people who are actually here first, and then people who aren't here. I'll do those afterwards, because yeah, I want to let people sleep if they're getting tired or on the East Coast or whatever. So if you are here and you submitted for this week, let me know so I can do yours first. Okay, so very easy. Why did I say this is a good time to activate? You can already tell by this point. In fact, the answer is like on screen. Who wants to be the great student and answer my question? Because I know you guys know. Yeah, he's overheat. He's double locked. You can just tell from this screen that this is just a really bad. This is like the worst situation. There's one more. Not only is he overheated and double locked, but there's one more also. You can kind of see from this screen. Yeah, he's way up in the air. He's way up in the air. Ammo? No, not really, because this ammo is not, well, it's useful, but yeah, bad angle. When I was looking for, yes, thank you, Prototype. Yes, very good. So he's stuck in like he's doing a sub, right? You actually can't tell here whether he's doing his Garobi or his sub, but you can tell from the ammo that he's doing a sub, right? So he's like, right? So not only is he overheated, if he's overheated while falling, that's not as bad, but he's overheated while doing a move that's triggering his vernier, so you're going to see him float a little bit. In addition, he's facing away from the other person, which is behind him, which we can tell from the mini-map. We can also tell he's very close. So there's a very high probability that he's going to get meleeed, or at the very least landing punished here. You can also actually see that there's like a shot coming off from his partner, presumably, or something, but that's not important. The important part is he's basically turned around from his opponent. So we'll see that Kumojaki obviously knows that he's overheated, and he just knocked down Prototype, or possibly killed. I can't really tell. In any case, that guy is being knocked down, so he's going to turn his camera to face his opponent's partner, right? Which will cause him to be out of angle. So this would be perhaps not as bad. If, for example, I would probably wait if I was him, if I was facing this way. Right? If I was facing towards the camera, then when we swapped to the other guy, Aced, right? If we swapped to Aced, yes, I got your email. if we swap to AC, then the shot would actually be on angle, so you could possibly do a falling shot, right? But we of course did not. We are stuck in the move, so I would have to activate right here. I would have to activate right here. Now it is dangerous to activate with low health because if you die, it's like really bad. But here I would actually not mind activating just to not die. So activate and then just like boost to the right like once and once again to avoid any shot, and then just swerve and jump a lot. Or based on the situation, if you see that they are, if they're vulnerable, then you can shoot at them and pursue them. It's really hard though because we have not too much information. So you can also camera swap like this, and so it's true that perhaps perhaps you wanted to swap and then observe, but this is still like he's getting up. You can see that he's already actually moving. Oh, because he's landing. So he's teching. So yeah, there's just no way you're not gonna get hit here. Prototype also woke up. So this is just really bad. So you wanted to really activate there. I would have activated there 100% of the time because there's just no way you're gonna not get hit here. Unless his partner was getting knocked down perfectly the time you're landing. Because just overheat is just so much recovery. And we saw that even though Strike got knocked down, he was able to tech in time and melee him for pretty much guaranteed. You were not going to be able to recover and shield there. There's no way. Yeah. So, the only way this situation would have been, possibly saved is if his partner was there meleeing or something. But yeah. So, as a result, he's almost at full. So I would activate here. Yeah, so that lack of activation. This game's not too executionally intensive at all, Citrus. So these lack of activations are really hurting him, and you get a really bad one here. So this is not what you want. You might get hit here. Yeah, that's a problem. Alright, he does get that shot, but out of angle. So looks like a mistake by AC there, but no, wow, very ballsy melee. I like that, but this is going to be pretty unavoidable. Oh, did not get that. So, looks like Kumo's gonna, wow, I don't know about this. Well, his partner's really low, so he hasn't activated here. Ah! So that was really unfortunate, right? It was looking pretty good. He hadn't activated, this was gonna be a really good time to use it, right? But instead he got tied here because of that on angle. So again, on angle. And this activate here. You should really be looking at the other guy, honestly, here. Because, you're probably not going to get this. This is probably not going to land. He had a decent amount of time to land. So I think this is avoidable, yeah. Oh, he got knocked down. That means this activate. Yeah. I really think he should have been... this is... So, AC made a mistake there, but Kumojaki actually should have gotten hit here. This was a really close game. I think a lot of mistakes by both players, but definitely on angle. Big one. Alright, this will be the last replay we look at for Kumo, then we're going to move on to, probably we'll watch Thug's replays. Kumo playing, yes, he's playing RX-78. Great. So they're playing double 2K against double 2K, so which kind of makes everything just on angle, guys, on angle. This is overheat, really scary, but luckily he doesn't get punished for it. Yeah, that's good. Oh, that's really scary. Ooh. I don't know about boosting towards red frame there. It's really dangerous. He's really aggressive here. Wow, he hit AC on accident. That's great. But, you know, they're doing pretty alright. Uh-oh. This might work? Nope, it does not. Unfortunate. But he should get this. Alright. He gets a BZ. Yeah, so, off angles, this is gonna be a problem here. Yeah. So I like it activate somewhat soon. So, jousting, yeah, I mean, not much to say there. Both decided they wanted to melee, so it's just gonna happen. But, these Hayatos, yeah. Really just need to work on playing a little more, you know, less aggressively here. Just work on nice, clean movement. So, it's actually pretty dangerous. So even this stuff, I think, is a little bit unnecessary. Yeah, like that last boost, he could have just fallen and shot. But instead he boosted again to BZ, and it just ends up putting him, instead of, you know, half boost, like, you know, these are, I mean, if you're watching his boost, you know, just watch his boost usage. It's very, very, very aggressive. So, and it's not really working out very well for him. Now they are kind of even. Looks like they're a little bit behind now. Okay, so that was, you know, luckily his partner got a shot in, so good. So this is pretty good. Kumo here has not taken that much damage, so that's really nice. I like the camera movement. It's good. Oh, so just, you know, really gotta watch out there. You know, Hayato is good, but you don't want to throw it out at the expense of getting hit. You know. So again, ooh, this is really aggressive. Wow! Whoa! Hammer! So it's good that worked out. That Fua step in the shot is pretty dangerous. I feel like if you want to do that, you should just melee, personally. It worked out though, so, you know, that's good. And a pretty nice Hayato. So he should get this here? Yeah, okay. How do you deal with Hayato? Movement, just like, you know. Hayato is good once it comes out. But there's a period of time when you're throwing Hayato out. Well, if you sidestep, then all three of them will miss, I think. I think it only tracks once. Pretty sure it only tracks once. Like, it tracks the whole way through. I think if you sidestep, it cuts the whole thing, though. Oh, it does retract? Okay. Okay. It does retract. So, Hayato's tracking is not actually that... It's not that good. Like, we actually saw a pretty obvious example of this where, like, Red Frame, I think it was Red Frame, was, like, just moving. It was moving. Only just, like, one straight linear movement. And Hayato just, like, missed because the muzzle correction is just not that good on it. So, if you just make a big movement, literally, like, a large movement, so a big arc, for example, a big boost hop, you'll avoid all those hits pretty easily. But, you know, a lot of avoiding Hayato just comes down to whatever movement you did early on. So you just don't want to waste a lot of boost and get stuck overheating into Hayato. That's the big one. Generally, if you have the boost when Hayato comes out, it's pretty easy to avoid. You don't even need to be very inefficient of it. Like, you know, like we said, so you can't sidestep. If you sidestep, you have to sidestep constantly. I wouldn't really recommend doing something like, you know, sidestep Fua, like sidestep jump, sidestep jump, sidestep jump. Like that's really inefficient for Hayato. You can easily boost it, avoid it just by doing, like, you know, a boost and then a jump and just a really long one, because Hayato doesn't really correct very long. So if you're moving a far distance, you can avoid it. It's not that difficult. In addition, You know, again, if you're just not, so if you're not overheating, the big problem is overheating. Overheating into Hayato is, you know, 80% of the time it's going to be how you get hit by it. Is you tried to land, or you were overheated and landed, and he was throwing Hayato out. You know, and usually that happens because you guys are both what I call trading boosts, which is, you know, you're both firing and trying to dodge the shot at the same time, and you guys are basically not accomplishing anything except expending both of your boosts, and that's actually what RX-78 wants, because then when you guys are both really low, he can just throw Hayato out, and at that point, you know, you really can't do much. Now, aside from moving in a way that does not result in you know, boost. One, of course, like I said before, is moving large distance. Another is getting far away from him. So if you smell a Hayato coming out, if you smell that he's going to try and Hayato snipe you, you can just try and move away. Just boost back really far. And that can sometimes, especially if you do it at this... blocking... blocking is okay. But it's better if you don't block, because it can keep you blocking for a good amount of time, and depending on the situation, it depends on the situation, obviously. So if you're, like, for example, far away and there's nothing near you, yeah, you can block it, it's not a big deal. But, you know, if like your opponent's partner is nearby, it can be not so good, because his partner could confirm that you're blocking and do something unblockable on you. That kind of thing, you know. So I would not recommend blocking it if you can help it. Yeah, just it's better not to have to block it. But again, so running away is actually a pretty okay solution, because Hayato doesn't shoot very far, and you know, the shots are staggered, and they actually have good amount of travel time. So if you're moving the farther away you move, the more delay in between each shot there will be, which will improve your likeliness of being able to recover or whatnot. So just moving away is actually okay. Especially if you're going to move away and jump, that's really great. Especially if you're combining with steering and stuff, it's pretty hard for Hayato to just hit you by himself, right? So moving away is okay. Big motions are okay. Another way, which is also okay, is if you smell a Hayato during the Hayato shot, he's pretty vulnerable, right? Like, he can boost out of it, but he has to stop his movement. So you can either aim to shoot him with something particularly fast while he's doing Hayato, you know. So the other thing is, he can't just Hayato whenever he wants. Like, he sort of can, but he has to spend boost for it. And, you know, if he's going to Hayato early on, then it means that he's probably going to not do anything while the Hayato's going off, which is a opening for you, right? He's not going to do something like, you know, boost, jump, throw out Hayato, and then boost and be like, BR, BR, BR. That's just really inefficient for him. There's no reason he needs to do that when he's got Hayato shooting at you. So he'll probably just do nothing. And maybe fall a little bit, boost and fall, and then maybe shoot once or something. So there are some openings there, but you know, generally, you have to understand that he can't just Hayato whenever he wants. He does have to not commit, but he has to spend some resources to get that Hayato out. It's not actually just free. It's kind of free, but not really free. Especially if it does force on. It doesn't force on angle, but it forces vernier slightly. So. You can actually take those opportunities to try and, for example, if he's not expecting it, get close to him and melee him when he tries to throw out Hayato, which can be bad and it can hit you in the face depending on the angle. But if you know how it's going to happen, you can try and rainbow step and get in the melee. You can try and just get closer and BR him, you know, or you can just do any of the other reasonings. So there's a lot of different ways. It is situational. A lot of it ultimately comes down to you understanding when the RX-78 player both can and wants to use Hayato. And just understanding that will help you avoid that move in general. Generally, you will get hit by Hayato because you don't understand like when they want to use Hayato. If you know the timings for when Hayato is going to come out, it'll be a lot easier to avoid because you'll be expecting it, and you'll say, oh, you know, if I just do this right now, if I turn around and shoot him, and he throws out Hayato, I can't avoid this Hayato afterwards, and that kind of thing. And of course, you get into the situation of, oh, but what if he doesn't Hayato, and yes, such and so forth, and you know, that's kind of the mind game. So you do have to kind of play around it a bit, and it is really like kind of like playing around, because if he plays his cards right with Hayato, there's very, very little you can do. And that's kind of the threat. But again, that's why knowing the timings for when Hayato is going to come out is going to help you a lot. Because, you know, if you don't want to deal with that playing around Hayato business, like, you know, is he going to Hayato here? If so, then I have to run away. That kind of thing. You can just try and play during the times when he can't Hayato. So looking for situations where he's kind of low on boost, so even if he does throw Hayato out, it's not going to really affect you that much because you have much more boost than him. Or, you know, he's busy throwing out Hayato somewhere else, or he's out of Hayato, or lots of different situations where he can't just Hayato to save himself. Yeah, Hayato is not that good. It is really good. It's, you know, one of the top 10 best assists in the game, for sure. But it's not, you know, it's not undefeatable. Yeah. It's very strong in the situations when he wants to use it, and outside of that, just okay. Yeah. Like many assists. So ultimately, it does come down to understanding how that move works, and it is a lot of experience and stuff. But I would say, well, if you play as RX-78 for a little bit, you'll understand inherently when the good times to use it are. So, you know, I would just say, just try and be aware of it. If you're having trouble with that move, you might not be able to put into practice some of the things I'm describing, but at the very least, try and pay attention to when he Hayatos, and just try and figure out when you think he's going to Hayato, even if at first it feels like just guesswork, because that's going to, you know, that's going to get you a lot farther than just moving around aimlessly and then, you know, finding out that you just got hit by Hayato out of nowhere. You don't want to just be like, oh shit, I got hit by a Hayato. When did that come out? Right? You don't want that to happen. You want to at least be like, oh, I hope he doesn't have Hayato there, and then if he does, you just be like, yeah, okay, next time. You know, that's a much better feeling than you landing and then just getting hit by Hayato and going, what the fuck? Yeah, that's what you don't want to have happen. So moving on to the next replay, we're gonna look at Thug's replay. Let me just go ahead and find it. Here we go. 7.2 megabytes. Okay, and eject. This lobby music, man. Everyone loves it. Whose replays will you look at after Thugs? I'll probably just go in order. After Thugs, we'll probably look at the group of like 4 people who submitted from Costover forums. There were like 4 people who submitted together because they play casuals together all the time and they all wanted their stuff looked at. So we'll probably look at all of those. I believe there's like 8 replays in that set for like 4 people. So that should be a pretty good contrast, because we'll be looking at specifically they're going to be I believe those are sets of casuals with like 4 of them. So we can talk a little bit more about comp and cost management. We didn't really cover health management in the set with Kumo, because a lot of his were like 2K, and you know, Kumo doesn't make too many big errors in terms of health management that we need to really point out. It's more important to talk about his movement, I think, in those sets, especially with a suit like RX-78, where you can play a very kind of clean game. A Mook MS? I don't know what a Mook MS is, but alright. Let me take a look here. Okay, so he says, so Thug said, I submit a lot of games where I'm playing back in a 3K, 2K comp, and I'm not sure when to be passive or aggressive. Other than that, just I like general advice. Good. Let's take a look at, let's go from, let's see, these are all Delta Plus. We'll take a look from top to bottom. Oh, black screen. Thank you. How many suits? Well, honestly, I think if you just play one suit seriously, that's not bad, you know. So that's lag or fucked up input, you know. Wait a minute, hold up. Okay. Well, it's 2K, 2K, but anyways, let me go ahead and answer the question before we start. So, you know, I think it's a really good idea to know how to play a lot of suits, but mastering only one is not the end of the world. This is not, you know, you don't need to, you know, it helps, but I don't really recommend, like, subbing, like, 5 characters and not really knowing what your main is. I see a lot of, like, you know, like intermediate players, especially in America, that do things like they have a main suit and then they just like don't play him a lot or whatever, and they just say they have a main. And I feel like, you know, just like in a fighting game, if you do that too much, you don't really get a lot of depth, especially because matchup experience is important. So, for example, I play a couple other suits a lot in addition to my main suit, but my main suit is still my strongest because I have just so much more matchup experience, and that comes from playing. I mean, obviously, I played him overall more, but I spend a good amount of time. But you know, matchup experience is pretty important. And you know, if you play certain suits that aren't your main, you may feel like you have a good idea of how to play the suit, but some things just won't work out as well because you don't have as much matchup experience, so you don't inherently know, you know, what's going to happen in a certain situation. You have to play it out. So you know, I do see, you know, there are. You know, I hear a lot of people, like, you know, who have like a main but they don't play it that much, and I feel like a lot of those people don't really understand just how much they're lacking with their own knowledge, and you know, but that of course ultimately comes down to, you know, whether you're playing to get better or you're just playing for fun. You'll see me play like heavy arms a lot. I play heavy arms a lot just because I think it's really fun, and that doesn't really have anything to do with too much with getting better. I just like I'll have a lot of fun playing heavy arms. It's really fun, but I do recommend subbing at least like 1 or 2 suits that are different than your suit, to get a better overall understanding of like the game. Because for example, if you only play a melee suit and you don't really have a pretty good understanding of like a basic VR suit, it's not that big of a deal, but I believe it does help to understand the thought process of what goes on in a VR traditional all-purpose suit, what goes on in their head in situations. And I think that's helpful as a melee player to know when they're in like a situation they want to run away in, or you know, whether they're feeling aggressive or defensive and that kind of thing. So I do think that is useful. I also think that playing back a little bit if you're playing front, or playing front if you're back, is useful to understand what's going on in the other player's head, because you know, it's really easy to just play, for example, front all the time and just like, you know, run your front stuff and just like blame your partner when he doesn't cut for you, or you know, just be like, oh, why is my partner not moving ahead when I'm moving ahead, that kind of thing, without really, you know, I mean, both sides have ample stuff to complain to. Front players just like, oh, you know, I'm winning all these exchanges, why aren't we winning? Why is my partner not cutting for me? Why is my partner not here or doing anything? Why does it feel like 1v2? He should be lane punching and stuff, blah, blah, blah. And the back player's like, oh, why is my partner just like running in and dying? Why can't he just wait for me to go in? You know, why is he rushing by himself when I'm really far away? Why is he taking control of the game when I'm knocked down? You know, why doesn't he protect me when like these people are clearly hunting me? And you know, I've been running away for like the last 30 seconds. He isn't doing anything instead. You know, so both, you know, both front and back players have things they can complain about. it's not, it's not just the one-piece game. It's not just the two-piece game. It's a team game, and it's not just the front player's responsibility to take control of the match, and it's not just the back player's responsibility to clean up for all the mistakes the front player does. It's a combination of both, and both players need to give a little bit. You can't just ask for everything from your partner. You have to understand how to, what you have to understand what your partner is expecting from you, and not just play good, but do things like play together. Playing together is really important because it asks not just from one player but from both. So playing a different role than you're used to can help you understand certain things, and it's also useful for matchup things and understanding certain things. For example, if you play heavy arms, for example, and you've never really played heavy arms, you might understand that there's a whole another level of the game, which is your partner kind of running in when you can't actually do anything, because heavy arms is very unique in that he has very extreme situations where he literally can't do anything, and if your partner just runs in and tries to get into a situation while you're doing that, you kind of sit there and you're like, well, I literally can't do anything. There's nothing I could have done. Maybe you should not have done that and gone in because I can't help you, right? So those kind of very specific situations are pretty enlightening overall and touch on general things. So it's not really a heavy arms thing. Heavy arms has very specific regions of his gameplay that represent problems that occur in all back players' roles. They're just really extreme in heavy arms. In heavy arms' case. In any case, so doing those kind of things is why I would recommend. But I don't recommend it over, getting good, solid growth in your main suit. So it's one of those things where if you feel comfortable, or if you want to break, or if you just want to sub a suit, because it's really easy to sub suits in this game, pick those kind of suits. My recommendation. But don't do it to the extent that you don't know how to play your main suit. Yeah, like Acides, for example. Acides plays X1 as his main suit. That's what he tells me. He said if I was entering tournaments, I'd play X1. But I've seen him play X1 and he doesn't know how to play X1. So, his sub suits are better than his alt suits or his main suit, and that's not what you want. You don't want your sub suits to be better than your main suit, because if that's the case, then you should switch mains, and you should stop saying that's your main suit. Yeah. Okay, let's continue with this. So that's just missing some input, or C didn't come out, whatever. So okay. So this is a little advanced. Anyone want to know why he got hit there? There was a reason. He did something, and as a result, he probably could have avoided this if he just did a certain thing, but he didn't. Anyone want to know? Anyone want to try and guess what that was? So we can rewatch that. Well, there's a couple reasons. There we go. Ah! There's actually three. He could have done a lot of things to avoid that shot. I'll actually just cover all of them. So there's a lot of things actually he could have done, honestly. So okay, here comes Destiny. So the first thing that I was gonna say. There's a couple things, honestly. The big one, I think, which was the problem that left you with the most options, or took away the most options, was sub canceling here. Because you didn't need to sub cancel. You had 2 BRs on him. You could have boosted and then jumped and BZ'd, but canceling into the sub caused you to Vernier. And what that did was it forced you to reboost and then move somewhere. So, Citrus, Lander, it happens when you hold down C and then press sidestep. So you should try and not have C held down while you're trying to sidestep or something. Or not mash multiple directions while you're holding up. So the big one that I would say is not is canceling into BZ here. It's not actually necessary. You could have done a lot of things to avoid that. For example, you could have boosted forward here and just BR'd a third time and hopped. So you'd boost after these 2 shots, and then fire and jump, and then you'd have a nice landing arc while you could switch your camera, look at him, and you'd still be at like 1/3 boost, and then you could decide whether you need to sidestep or whether landing was okay, whatnot. There's a lot of things that could have been done. So, but from the BZ, so one of the things was the BZ cancel. Now, normally I would say BZ is a little bit safe. It's not that big of a problem. The problem here is you're kind of close, right? So the big ones. If you look at the meme map, let's just look at the meme map for a second here, right? So we're close in general here, actually, in this position. Gunner is, not super far away. He's going to be shooting at you because you're in front of your partner. So your partner is to your left here. And actually, honestly, you should expect this from this moment. This moment in general is a little bit risky. It works out, but it's actually quite scary. Which is, what's up, Tlog? Which is right here. So this jump is it's pretty. It's not risky. I mean, it's risky because your partner's knocked down here. That's the other thing. But I think he's knocked down. Yeah. But you're just like really close to Destiny. This is like really scary. Now, luckily, like Destiny tries to throw this boomerang and run away, and that ultimately results in him getting hit. But if Destiny had, for example, what I thought was going to happen when he jumped like this was I thought Destiny was going to boost towards us and boomerang, and that would have been really scary, really scary. So this leap is a little bit risky. It's not super bad. Like obviously it works out here, but jumping forward in general is kind of scary because it's the angle of the camera and just closing in positioning really fast there. It makes it very difficult to react to things. Like when you jump at people like this, you can't really. You're kind of guessing a little bit. It's pretty hard to react to whatever they do if they fly at you, because you jump at them at the same time they fly at you. It's a pretty fast it's a pretty fast scenario that comes into play, and if you're a suit with not too much to do, you might have a problem. And the biggest one is you're firing here. So since you're firing here, you don't have as many options. You can't just melee when you're jumping at them. So you can't just react to their close in with a melee of your own. You'd have to sidestep or boost away and then try and do something. So it's a little bit scary. But from this BZ, so this BZ, this boost here, so a couple of things would be hopping here, just boost hopping instead of just boosting and landing. Another thing would just be boosting again, because you have a good amount of boost. Because the big problem is you haven't seen. You can do Fua here too. Fua might not actually work very well because it's Gunner though. So I generally don't like to Fua against Gunner because his beam is so big it might just like hit you anyways, because it's kind of dumb like that. Fua's not that bad though, but I generally Fua can be a little risky if you don't have a good understanding of the tracking of the beam that's firing at you. Also, for example, we don't know if this is an assist coming. It could have been an assist coming, something like that. If that was the case, Fua would be pretty dangerous because the assist kind of just goes like this. So, so the big thing here was camera. We didn't switch our camera. I probably would have I would have suggested switching to the camera as soon as your BZ came off because it's a knockdown. That would have probably been the best. That would probably been the best option from that BZ is camera switch and then see what they do. But unfortunately, we don't switch till here, and then that's when we know the beam's coming. At that point, it's unavoidable. So another thing we could have done was boost towards the buildings, because there's these nice lovely buildings here. So ultimately the raw 100% answer would have been boost in behind a building and then you're free. But the point was actually the BZ there stole a lot of options, and while BZ is good because you get a fast knockdown and you don't have to worry too much about timing that BR, it's also technically kind of the most BR. It's kind of the most boost efficient in the sense that you get your knockdown early into your meter, right? He was at about 50% or 60% when the BZ came out. That's really good because you have a lot of meter to play with to avoid. So I wouldn't really say the BZ was a super big problem, but I do think it's a little bit risky due to the fact that you were front. So if you were back, BZ, no problem, yeah, because their back player is probably doing something else, and you can probably see them. But the problem was you're in front, and one of the things that is not obvious until you really are aware of it is how much positioning actually changes something that is just you know, it makes sense, but we don't talk about it a lot, which is peripheral vision. Peripheral vision, right? So we'll see that here we know what's happening because we can see both of them. We can see both of them, right? And even here, right, we have a pretty damn good idea of like what's going on, right? We pretty much have like 100% knowledge here, right? But when we just dove in to that prototype, we no longer had very good peripheral vision because we were so close to prototype, so we have no idea what's going on with the gunner. And in that kind of situation, turning on your vernier there can be very dangerous because you have no idea whether your BR, whether your BZ is safe or not, right? Because, like, for example, here, you know, if we get a BZ, this is very safe. Well, not here. That's not going to be very good. But, you know, earlier, if we shot a BZ, no problem, because we can see the back player. We can see him. And if he's going to shoot something, we can boost. And if he doesn't, we have just no problem, right? No problem. No problem whatsoever there. So positioning, right? Positioning here is what actually influences a cancel string or a movement option and changes it from something that's 100% safe to a little bit risky. Yeah. So positioning, and that was really ultimately a result of that jump forward, because that jump forward pushed our vision a lot closer, and it stole information that we otherwise had, and that led to that ultimately was the result, right? If Thug had landed a BRBZ from farther back, he would definitely not have gotten hit because he would have seen the BR coming. He would have just boosted and away, and it would have been really, really easy, no problem, right? So ultimately, that situation was a direct result of being very close and not having, you know, good peripheral vision. I think he's gonna get hit here, yeah. So I'm gonna say this is a lot of this is kind of a lot of this is because, you know, Thug is kind of playing very front here because they're playing double 2K, and So here also, he was boosting back a lot, and as a result, he wasn't on angle, which meant that he couldn't really fire Prototype. And Prototype was doing nothing. He was just kind of moving towards his partner, and it would have been nice to kind of force him to boost a bit and fire some stuff at him, but we pretty much saw that Thug didn't do anything for quite a long time. He was just focused on like getting hit, or not getting hit by Prototype, probably expecting like a charge shot to come out, or, you know, a boomerang or something like that. Yeah, he's also putting himself in the corner. There's not much he can do there, though, because kind of Destiny's driving him in the corner there. What was I going to say? Right, so what you should have done is, while you're boost hopping, I would have boost hopped and swiveled. You did a boost and then a boost, but you should probably just done a boost hop and swivel, or cancel from assist into main to correct your shot. So just dropped with main into assist into main would have been really good as well. But, you know, there were a lot of things you could have done. I probably would have boost hopped there because Prototype was really close too. So if he's gonna try and melee you or fire at you or something, boost hopping is a pretty good option there because you can attack him if he tries to attack you, and you'll naturally avoid like any kind of melee business he's gonna do. You may have to get thrown in a sidestep if he BRs you right as you're rising at a certain time, but if you're doing it right off of a boost, it's not that big of a deal. So So that would have been good. Changing into from assist into main also would have been useful. But it would have plummeted you, and it might have put you in a sticky situation. So you might have needed to be sidestep or boost again, and the nice thing about doing something like assist into main drop in that situation is you could have actually boosted at him, and you would have gone under him while firing because you're on angle. Because it's a three-dimensional thing, but basically like you're at the same height as him, or you're maybe a little bit higher. You're like around the same height, so it's kind of a scary height to be at against like Destiny up in the air. But if you drop, suddenly you're really low, and then if you boost at him while he's moving towards, it would have been pretty safe. It might have forced you out of angle though, so that could have been a problem. You would need to have swiveled or reacted to the interaction of the vectors there. But going under him is then really safe. He can't do anything to you. Like once you're under him and then you move forward, there's very little he can do. At that point, you just need to worry about his partner. But that would have been a really good way to attack him and not get hit. Because really, we wanted to try and attack him here and not get hit. That's the really at least poke. We wanted to poke back here because as a result, Forbidden really doesn't get any really help, and something bad happens there. So that's kind of the result. So execution there. So we would have liked to see a full BR hit, but that's okay. Ooh. That's a good cut from his partner. No, that must have been a sub. Maybe it was his partner. So I would like to defensive burst a little earlier here. Yeah, so not too much you could have done here at the end. I would definitely say play around more with some play around with using assist into main more. Assist into main is really powerful. It's actually a very good like air-to-air option because it's just a lot of bullets. And while Destiny's chasing you like that, if you just do assist main, it's really hard. Like it's kind of a gamble because you're plummeting. So when you're low like that, you do give yourself landing recovery. So it's better higher up, kind of, because you have more time to react to whether you're going to need to avoid something or not. But in that kind of situation where you kind of in a pickle. So we want to try and be on angle here too. So I would say, yeah. So that was an unfortunate accident. So here, right? So here we wanted to try and swivel earlier and get a nice plummet, but yeah, I mean it works out because he gets hit by the main. But you shouldn't actually, or the assist, but you shouldn't actually expect the assist to hit that much. It just kind of throw out there. All right, rainbow step. So rainbow step off that melee. Don't boost. Rainbow step. Rainbow full step. You wouldn't have gotten hit by that punish there. So assist into main here would have been nice, but it looks like your partner got that anyways. So health-wise, you're doing okay. This is not that bad. You have a activate here, and you're kind of even. It's pretty even at this point, as long as you kill RX-78. So I would say your assist use. You need to use assist more, like all the time. Assist is really good. Like assist here would have been really good. This is fine. But assist, like so much assisting. Yeah. Yeah, just need to assist like all the time. That was actually a really scary landing. I'm actually surprised by that. I did not expect that. And here, so just it looks like you just couldn't tell who was actually the one you're supposed to targeting and hesitated there. You should have gotten that. So you knew that you were supposed to punish there, but it looks like you couldn't tell like which of the locks was on who. So your punish was a little late, and you didn't get that as a result. So I like that long tack. I think that's pretty good. So you were really far away and you couldn't help there, and that's because you were off angle. Because again, like, so So, you know, I talk about on angle a lot. You know, I do talk about on angle a lot. A lot. And one of the reasons I talk about it so much is how much influence it really has on a lot of the subtleties of the game. So one of the things that there was the problem was spacing, right? Now, it wasn't like Thug wanted. Thug didn't want to be really far away, right? Thug obviously did not want to be that far away to the case that he couldn't cut, right? He wanted to be closer. But the reason why he was kind of forced into that situation was because he got shot at somewhere and he boosted to get away, and then he got shot again, so he boosted again to get away, and he didn't really want to boost like towards them because, you know, you don't really want to get driven into a melee situation or something like that. So he kind of just boosted in the direction he thought was the best for dodging, and as a result, he was really far away. Now, if you were on angle, you could have done a lot of things, but here assist canceling would have been really good because, again, kind of the thing that people aren't aware of as much. Swerving would have also helped. But swerving is a little dangerous, so I'm okay with not swerving there. You know, like, swerving there would have been fine, but it's understandable if you didn't want to swerve there. It's uncomfortable to swerve. But the reason why assist canceling in the middle of your boost is so good is boosts are a fixed length, right? So your movement is like, you know, boost. You know, you're moving in these really, really sharp distances, and sometimes they're not where you want to be. You know, if you're boosting in like a triangle and you want to be right in the center, you like can't get to that. You know, you can't really get to this right spot, right? Obviously, in that situation, Doug probably has a very, very specific place he wants to be, which probably would have been a little bit next to the building. So you're, you know, like, you know, mid-screen, half-screen, or like third screen away from like both people, and then you can cut perfectly there and dodge, right? There's like this really nice spacing that he wants to be in, but he just can't be there because to boost to get there, he would have to like boost into fire, and, you know, or boost away and then back into. It's really difficult. But one of the ways you can adjust to get into the nice spacing is to get a nice on angle BRBZ, right? Or sorry, a very nice on angle assist BR and cut your boost so you drop, right? So that's one of the other really useful things about the ACA assist cancel is it lets you cut a boost like in half or early on so that you can get a really nice spacing and get that subtle positioning where you want it to be, and it's very safe too. So that's one of the nice usages of ACA, and for Delta Plus in general, is it helps you get that really subtle spacing that makes your backplay much stronger, because spacing is a really big deal for backplay. In addition, boost hopping is also a really good option. Boost hopping is really good because boost hopping, it doesn't go as far as, for example, 2 boosts. Well, it can, but if you're swerving and stuff, it generally it's kind of like a boost and a half of distance. But your evasive like value is about 2 boosts worth, so it helps you move less when you don't want to move as much. And you will see me do that a lot. My position with the suit is like, for example, I don't want to move too far back, but I want to dodge a lot. I'll like jump and boost really high and then land, and I'll be kind of close. Let's watch another one. So I think the big thing I'm going to say, probably just in terms of like how to play the suit, because Delta Plus is a little different, is ACA. It's really good. It's honestly one of the cruxes, the big pillars of this suit's play, is how to properly use ACA. So definitely my immediate suggestion is work on that, and also work on more boost jumping. You still do a lot of just single boosts, and especially with this suit, I definitely want to see more boost jumping. So this is okay. Also Rainbow Step. So you didn't have much boost there, so you could have only Rainbow Stepped and not jumped. But still, Rainbow Step off of melee. There's no reason really to want to boost cancel. So this is okay, yeah. So, ooh, you know, those off angles. ultimately resulted in that. Also, I would recommend, I don't know what melee that is. Is that 8B? But I would probably recommend 6B here. I think that's 8B. Oh, shoot. I'm on face cam. Thank you. Okay. It's okay. We just started, so we'll just rewatch this. Alright. So that was okay. I honestly would not recommend using BZ like that just as an extra cancel when they're like early in their boost or in their movement and they're just kind of flying around. You want to use the BZ to try and catch them. Either it's okay as anti-melee, for example, but also that off angle there is a little bit of a problem and results in that. Yeah, so you want 6B there because you got that like iffy melee and it's not very good. I actually probably would recommend BZing less in general until you have a good idea of when to use it. BZing for knockdowns and hit confirms is good, but as an offensive poke, BZ is kind of weak. It's better to use BZ as a landing punish, or as a poke when they're landing, right? So BZing, like doing like BZ, it's really good as a poke when they're kind of running away because a lot of the time those two early BRs will force them to run away and then that last BZ will tag them, right? But early on in the boost, when they're like on their maybe second or third boost, the BZ is not going to hit them. The BZ is just going to be like a BR there. Yeah, it has extra guidance, but in the overall span of, you know, how they're moving and stuff, it's not really going to be enough to really make the difference. Like if it was a BR rather than if it was a BR instead, it wouldn't have hit them, but the BZ hit them, right? It's more of like you're using it to get that third cancel off. And since you're a suit like Delta Plus, where you can fire just like all the time, you know, you have assists and you have all this other stuff. As a block string, quote unquote, you know, as a pressure string, as a poke string, early on, the BZ is not gonna. It's gonna do more harm than help because it's gonna force your Vernier on, and then you have to boost, and it's just, you know, not as useful. So I'd recommend just sticking to BZs and assists for poking. Sorry, BRs and assists for poking, and BZing for hit confirms or far pokes when they're near the landing. You know. But the early BZ is not going to work out very well. So again, there, yeah. So if you had, for example, boosted and then BR'd, you would not have gotten hit by this. But it's the BZ. That was pretty good melee. Works out pretty well. That's unfortunate though, but okay. So I've actually not even been paying attention to your partner, but you're really low. Oh, I'm looking at their health. Yes, this is okay here. Ooh, so you might get landing punished here. Not? Okay. Looks like your partner was able to defend. So this is good. That was okay, actually. But that's not. Yeah, so I would say... I would actually say you're choosing to melee a lot. Well, in that situation, if you were gonna melee like that, you should just kept meleeing in like mash rainbow stacks, like 6B rainbow step, 6B rainbow step, 6B. You know, it's not that bad. You probably would not have gotten hit. It's debatable. It was a pretty sticky situation. I would honestly, probably, especially while you're learning, recommend not meleeing as much. You generally choose to melee in like kind of close range punishes, which is okay. The problem with that as Delta Plus is your melee is not very good. Even 6B is not very good of a melee string. So you tend to get in these situations where you punish with melee, but then you're like, oh shit, I'm meleeing them, and then you're like, ah, fucking, you know, it's pretty hard to resolve the melee. The problem is, like, you know, it's difficult to resolve the melee in a safe way, So the melee itself is okay. Like when you're meleeing, generally it's pretty good. Like you're meleeing at pretty good times, and they generally land. The problem is resolving it. So one of the things would be rainbow fluid step cancel into like a BR or into an assist A or into a range string. So canceling your melee into rainbow step and then jumping from the rainbow step so you have a nice arc, and then because you rainbow jump step, you're on angle, so you can do an on angle fire, and it's very, very, very safe. Right? So 6B BR is pretty good. 6B ACA is really good. I like 6B rainbow step ACA. A lot of things work out really well there. But another thing would be sometimes you do melees when you're close, but a BR would have been fine too. So for example, at the end there, a BR would have been fine too. And you should not think that because you're close enough to melee punish, you should melee. That's not the case actually. So I actually suggest just punishing with the BR anyways. Now, like for example, there was that time where you're like falling, you're like, it was a really weird angle, and you just meleeed and you hit Destiny. Now that's really good. If you press BR, you wouldn't have hit him there. So you needed to melee there, and that's fine. Keep doing that, right? But like at that very end there, where like Destiny was like landing at you, you did a melee because you're close. BR is actually, honestly, I would say a little bit better in that scenario because you can combo while running away. And you don't really have a very good safe melee. So instead, you know, you can. We did, Humo. We did look at those, I think. Did we? I think we did. I'm pretty sure we did. Oh, we didn't. My bad. Oh, we didn't. Okay. Okay, we'll do those at the end, I guess. Anyways, so just because you're close enough to punch with melee does not mean you should melee. So I would actually recommend, especially if it's not super close but just like a little bit far, BR, because BR, just doing, you know, even if it's a bad BR, so even if it's like boost away, BR, boost away, BR, boost away, BR, you know, even that kind of business, it'll get you far enough away that you'll probably be able to avoid the cut from the partner because you're getting away. Remember, it's a lot easier to cut a melee than it is to cut a BR combo, a Zunda, yeah. So I would recommend trying that out. Now, as you know, as for, you know, playing front versus playing close or back here, I would honestly say you're doing okay, but you just need to work on your on hopping more to fix your on angle, because you know you're boosting towards the camera. So here I would not recommend playing that close, and that's a result of jumping forward, because yeah, generally being in front of your partner is going to attract attention. And as a result, you know, you had that very, very, very close shave, so you don't want to have to do. And the bigger problem is because you had to avoid that gunner, you're now far away and you can't help, right? So let's watch this one more time, and we'll see how. Just pay attention to Delta Plus's ability here. To pay attention to Thug's ability to assist his partner, because you know, so he jumps in here, right, and then now he has to kind of like jump away. And now notice how Prototype here, you know, notice how Prototype is like rushing in here, and at the exact same time, Thug cannot help because he's busy like having no boost and having to avoid this Zaku shot. Now, yes, it's true that part of the reason why Prototype can go in here is because Zephyr had his attention drawn to Thug, and to some extent that's fine, but. It's hard to say here because they're playing against 2K2K, not like front back. But let's just say, for example, even in this 2K2K, that Zephyr is playing a little bit back because he's Gunner. Getting the attention of a Gunner Zaku for like, you know, a couple seconds is really not that amazing because he's back, and notice, you know, Zaku's gonna be able to switch back to Prototype here, right now, actually, right? And whereas Thug really wants to be closer. Thug wants to be like right next to Prototype here and start shooting Zephyr to prevent him from helping or catch the landing or shoot Prototype's target as well, right? He wants to be a lot closer, but he had to run away here because he got shot. And it's not like he chose the wrong direction. Obviously, choosing forward might have been okay here, but this back is fine. This is fine. His evasive option was not the problem. The problem was leaping forward, ahead, and getting caught, having to run away, and as a result, you get stuck in this situation. Yeah. Yeah, so this is fine. So I would say this for example is good. This positioning, like this is right where you want to be, red lock, right? In red lock, but not getting too much attention. So luckily the assist caught, but watch out. Yeah. So playing just a little bit forward here, So to try and touch on Thug's question a little bit more. Basically, the question is really not like, you're not really confused as to when to play more, aggressively or passively or whatnot. The problem is the times when you're, playing aggressively, you're taking a lot of damage here, like the times when you're playing aggressively are not bad. You're playing aggressively because you're getting a knockdown or you see a cut or something, right? You see a cut or something, right? The problem is you're doing it at the expense of positioning, right? So the times when you're like being aggressive and stuff, that's good, right? You're doing it because like, oh, I'm gonna get cut here, or my partner needs help. You're playing with your partner, so this is fine. This is perfectly fine. The problem is just positioning wise, you're doing it at the expense of getting like attention, right? You're being like really close up front, and you're getting hit a lot, or you're being forced to run away and dodge a lot of stuff. So you wanna be that aggressive, but you just don't want to do it at the expense of your partner. So just pay attention to where your partner is spacing wise, and just get close. Yeah, get close. Like don't jump in front. Don't jump in front. So just focus on not jumping in front. Again, like we said before, ACA will help for that and boost and like jumping. So just work on putting jumping and assist into main cancel into your play. That will help your positioning a lot, and I honestly think that you need to play with those tools more before you can really start working on positioning, because using those tools will actually change your positioning entirely. That was really scary. So here, right? So you move forward, you see that your partner is moving in, and you move in too, right? That's fine, right? That's great, and this is really good here. The building fucks up a little bit, but you get that BZ into the knockdown. Oh, okay, or not. So cut here. So here, just actually assist into BZ is probably better. Like just like yeah, or melee would have been okay. I think you're a little bit late on the cut. A little bit late on the cut too. I think you could have been a little faster on that cut. But assist BR, I almost guarantee that's gonna hit him. You could have done a lot of things here, but BR was just a like assist. Assist is, oh, you can just hit him. It doesn't matter. Hitting him is fine. Like I wouldn't worry too much about it there. His melee is kind of pushing him out too. Like he's getting meleeed, so he's getting pushed out of the angle. I wouldn't really worry too much about the assist hitting your partner. Friendly fire prorates really heavily too, so it's not a big deal. It's more important to cut. It's more important to hit him, to hit Zephyr. The friendly fire damage is really negligible, and in some cases it can actually help because it gets him teching faster, kind of. It jolts him out of that hit stun, so it's actually quite fine. Also, because of the prorate on the friendly fire, it's just don't worry about it. Just focus on hitting him. Just focus on hitting Zephyr. You want to hit Zephyr and knock him down. So AC would have been really good here. Like AC is just really good in general. Yeah, you just want AC. Yeah. So that's not such a good time to AC though. I know that you're doing it because you want to refill, but you know, it actually hindered your recovery, and you wanted to just boost away and stuff, and yeah. So you want to try and break that habit of the reload, the AC reload is good, but it's not just good like just cause, right? So you want to do it. The strongest time to do AC into empty reload is when you have fall time, so you get a fast fall. You use it as a fast fall, as an offensive fast fall, because it allows you to attack while falling and preserving whatever face you were without forcing on angle, right? Because it actually plummets faster than the fire. The ACA cancel is really good too, but the reload, the AC into reload actually plummets you faster because you slow your fall a little bit while you do the turnaround A. So AC into empty reload is really good when you have the height to fall, because it's really safe and it gets you reloading it while putting stuff out. But that kind of situation, it felt like you just did it because you were used to doing it with no reload time. But also camera camera awareness. You were not aware that he was going to shoot you there, so you probably thought it was safe, but it wasn't, and that's just that's just because you were in front, because you tried to get that cut, and you got to be more aware of when you're in front, basically. So just try and build an awareness of when you're in front, and when you are close like that, you just basically should prioritize not getting hit more. You tend to play up front and then try and still run your game, but you have to realize that when you're closer than Prototype is, the game is completely different. It is it may not feel like it's that big of a difference because you're only a little bit closer, but it's the difference between them attacking Prototype and them attacking you. That's the difference of being fired or not being fired. So I tend to notice that you just tend to be playing like you're playing back when you're closer, and you can't do that because you need to be more evasive and stuff, because people are just shooting you and stuff. So you can't play as passively when you're that close. Right? You can do it here. This is fine, right? Just just little boosts and firing and stuff. Don't be afraid to just reload any time. Don't just go ahead and reload if you're not being fired. Oh, so this works out, but that was really scary. So here you're probably gonna assist or something. Oh, okay. I would have just ACA'd there or something, but so I would say more jumping will help too. And so one of the big things about the jump is a lot of you actually are having some problems punishing, and the reason is because of your single boosts. I wasn't paying attention to whether it was green. I didn't see, but Oh, you mean when you had no boost? Yeah, it probably would have been green lot, but it would have accelerated your landing. So one of the things is, well, sometimes you want to land really, really, really late. Sometimes you want to land early, right? But there, basically, you were kind of up in the air and you were overheated and you were out of ammo. So I would have probably just ACA'd so you were faster, so you could recover earlier, because it looked like everyone else was preoccupied and you weren't going to be fired at, because you were out of their lock range. So in that case, you should just try and land as fast as possible and just reload. Also, because you're reloading, it means you probably might have been able to get a shot off right before you landed, maybe if they tried to run at you, for example. But also try and make sure you reload. Try and make sure you reload before you take off. So reloading as you land is better than reloading as you take off, because it just means you have more options, right? So reloading at the end of your movement rather than the beginning is just much better too, and usually that's the case. So one of the things that is good, which is you're boosting, you're just doing clean boosts, and it's very boost efficient, right? And you're just being very conservative about your boost. That's good. The problem is when you're doing this kind of boost BRBR, boost BRBR, boost BRBR, you're having some problems punishing, right? And one of the reasons why you're having problems punishing is you're getting what I would say are little hiccups in your movement. And I'll just answer. I wanted to see if someone could guess, but it's okay. So the hiccups you're getting is because you're boosting only, you're not jumping, which means you're very low to the ground, which means that sometimes, like in this case where you saw Gunner landing, but you couldn't really punish it, it's because you were landing from the low to the ground boost, because you're doing boost, fire, fire, land, boost, fire, fire, land, boost, fire, fire, land, rather than like boost, BR, 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 boost, BR, BR, right? So the good thing about being to the ground is you're safe. It's very hard to punish you. The problem is you get these hiccups because you're landing when you probably don't want to be landing. You'd rather just, you know, boost more so you can get that extended shot. But what's happening is like he's like landing right when you would want to fire, but you can't fire there because you're like landing from your small boost. So boost hopping is not just an evasive thing. It's actually more like a rhythm adjustment. Is you'll be able to adjust your rhythm and you have more control over when you fire, right? If you just do boost BR BR, you can't really choose when you want to BR, right? You have to BR like before you land, after you take off. So you know, you can't really choose when you want to attack. If you do boost jump, you can do boost and then attack as you jump. You can do boost jump and then attack at the apex. You can do boost jump and fall and attack, right? So boost jumping actually, because your suit is a multi-shot BR, it's actually not just an evasive thing. It's actually extremely vital to controlling when you want your offensive string to happen. So in that kind of situation, I would have almost guaranteed you would have been able to get a shot off if you had just like, you know, jump first. If you are going to do this boost and then BR, which is not that bad, use boost ACA, assist into BR, because the assists like come out slightly slower and you get the extra canceled shot, you're able to get an extended block string off, which makes the gap less big because you have like 5 shots off or whatever instead of just 2. Yeah. So use, if you're gonna do these low to the ground abrupt poke strings, cancel into assist more. It will help you a lot. It'll also get you landing faster so you can just continue your string a little bit better. Good. Yeah, so this is good. I like that, yes. So I would say here, yeah, it's probably just better to look at fusion earlier there, as I believe you were in red lock range as well, so you could have assisted or something there. Yeah, but generally just assist more. Assist is free, right? You should just always be assisting all the time. It's a lot of beams. It just makes it really helps you get your presence going. In terms of health and stuff, you're doing really good. So I would say you don't really have too much of a problem with this whole passive aggressive business. You're just having a problem physically being up front. So just work on that. And a lot of this has to so rainbow steps. Try not to boost when you're melee. Okay, so I would say, yeah, just generally assists, you know, the end there was a little bit, like, off. You were off angle there. You could have actually been on angle and BR'd again. In a situation like that, I would also, honestly, I think you're just, like, you need to pick up the pace a bit there at the very end when Gunner was on you. I think you should have just done something a lot more aggressive, like, you know, BR, boost, BR, and just get the stuff going, because with a suit like Gunner, right, if he's close like that, he's probably going to want to just try and shoot you, and getting a lot of stuff out against Gunner is really good, because Gunner's main, it's a matchup thing, right? But Gunner's main, it's not really a match thing, it's good in any case, but it's particularly good here because Gunner's main's really slow, so if you get more stuff going at him, it's just a lot harder for him to shoot back at you. And because of the way your suit works, it's also really safe to attack at the same time as being hard to hit. So that just would have probably been a little bit better if you just mashed a little harder against him. Don't give him as much opportunity to try and fire at you. Especially when he's that close. I have to be a little closer here, right? I mean, you know, That's good, right? I mean, in this kind of range, even if you're a little bit close to pro, it's not that big of a problem because you're outside the red lock, but you do want to just try and work on being in red lock a little bit more. Yeah, just focus on being max range red lock and you'll be okay. Honestly, like, you know, rather than working on this, like, being in front of prototype and being aware of that is good. Like, being aware of when you're in front of prototype is, of course, important. But honestly, if you just focus on your red lock and just try and be at max range red lock all the time, yeah, that's great. Like here, this is good, right? So reload there, good. But again, yeah. So these ACs are actually really good, and you just need to just do them all the time because it reloads really fast. You have it practically all the time. Yeah, that's good. So you're rainbow stepping there. Yeah, that's good. That's a little bit unfortunate, but your partner should get the cut, and then you should, oh, or not. Okay, looks like prototype messed up there. Should be able to punish this. Ah, so if you just BR'd there, if you just BR'd as you land, you know. Ah. If you had jumped there, it would have been okay. But. Whew. Yeah, so you know, ACA is good, but it doesn't defend everything, and you know, you don't expect it to always. So you should be able to get a landing punish here. Oh, okay. Well, so he fucked up his block or something. Or he fucked something up. Got hit. Good. So this is fine. Well, not so fine, but if you were on angle, it would have been fine. But you boosted out of angle, so you know, just gotta work on that BRA or ACA. So here, yeah, okay. Uh-oh. So you can probably... Oh! Okay, this is good. So, you know, very good fundamental anti-melee stuff is working out pretty well. But there! Yeah, so you just get... So the thing about this suit, I would say, Thug, is like... You got it, like, the special and nice thing about this suit is your options are really open. Your options are really open. Like, you can attack, like, almost all the time. So you should be, like, there when you're falling, you should just be shooting. Because there's no reason not to shoot there, right? You're not, I mean, you weren't going to do anything else. So you should just shoot him. And because your BR, or your BR reloads, like, for free, you should just always be shooting. Like, that's one of the things I think you can be a lot more active. Like, you just mash, more, basically. Hit A, like, all the time. Like, you know, like, that whole time you're jumping away, you should just, like, yeah. So you were on angle, like, that whole time, I think. Or maybe, well, you should have been. You should have been able to swivel. I guess I assumed that you swiveled, but I guess you didn't. So, you know, make sure you swivel when you jump. If you're gonna jump, just always swivel, and then you could have shot him, and there's, you know, no problem with that. Also, ACA puts you on angle, so you can use that as a trick. If you know you're on angle, just ACA, and you'll be back on angle. Okay, good. I think that's probably enough. Because I think that's a lot of stuff to work on, and I think we covered most of the big things. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the next person. So, you know, just to recap, use ACA more, jump more, swivel more, and just be aware when you're close and in front of prototype, particularly. But just anytime you're close, you want to make sure you are aware that there's probably people shooting you, and just try and be more evasive, and, you know, make sure you just run away. If you get, you know, with a back suit, you want to kind of get in, get out. You know, if you're getting in, you want to kind of make sure that you can get it out safely. And also, well, that's a lot of stuff to work on as well. I would actually suggest it's worth learning Delta Plus's, like, good combos, actually, his BC combos, because he can do, like, BC, 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 and, like, BCB, 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 and it actually does, like, a ton of damage. So going and learning the good BCB combos with Delta Plus is actually worth doing. They don't have too much cut resistance, but do a lot of damage, so it's worth learning them. And just practicing things like, you know, 6B Rainbow Step Jump AA, or 6B Rainbow Step Jump ACA, and those kind of things are worth learning. Good, okay. So the next thing we're going to look at is a large set Go ahead and download this. Okie dokie. Really, Fusion? For Delta Plus, his assist is probably Tokusha, which is like special fire. That's what AC is. And then you're looking for combos with Tokukaku. That's BC. That's the names for their button combination. So AC is yeah, that's literally special melee, and then BC is special melee and AC is special range or special fire. Or, I don't know what you would call it in English. Special, I don't know, special projectile, special fire, special range. I don't really know. I don't know what the I'm still looking for a good word for that. Okay, anyways. Yeah, Imdrax, we'll get to your replay. Yes. We're gonna do all of them today. It's really cold today. When's Marvel Impact? Oh, whoops, I didn't plug it in. Go. Also, if you have any questions, like, as we're going through this, please, this is a really good time to ask any kind of Gundam-related question. So, even if it's not really on topic, particularly if it's on topic. So, if you see anything I'm covering, as I'm going through certain people's replays or a subject that I'm talking about, or if you don't understand something I talked about, please feel free. And not just for the people who this is covering. A lot of these people are not here right now because it's really late and we're off schedule. But regardless. If you're unclear about something or you want to cover something else, but just please feel free and ask. Yes. Do I like to turtle? Well, not particularly. Turtling in this game doesn't. You can't really turtle in this game because, well. Turtling doesn't really work in this game because you have a partner. There we go. I've been using full claw. I have a question. Should I be using a CSA activation right off the bat? It depends. It depends. Yeah, it depends. I would say starting off with CSA is not a big deal. It's like it just depends. It depends on your playstyle. Some people like to pop it. Some people like to wait a little bit before doing it. I think it's honestly preference and just kind of what you're aiming for. Okay. So these guys, this is Stamiv, Razor, Azazel, and Pipes or Pippies, either one. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think these guys are around right now. but they sent in like I think 8 replays, yeah, and they're a mixed group of a bunch of different people. So we're supposed to be looking here at let me see. Oh, it looks like they're in reverse order. We're supposed to be looking at DX and the second one was Blue Destiny. Let's see. There went Sazabi and Zeta. Sazabi, Zeta. This looks like it matches up. Wing and Zeta. Wing and Zeta. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so okay, cool. Good. Yeah, these people are from Costover. Yeah, these are Costover replays. So here we're gonna be looking at. So I'm gonna actually read out what they said. So here we're gonna be looking at Delta Plus and Freedom. They're on the other side, opposite sides. So we'll watch each of them first. So for Stemif, who is the Wing Zero Sazabi Blue Destiny player, he says how to play forward as Sazabi. Ooh, that's gonna be fun. What options or what's the proper course of action when entering exam mode? And for Razor, who's the DX IJ Delta Plus player, how to play forward as DX, how to close in against ranged opponents as Justice, and should Delta Plus focus on staying away at a distance or to aim to get into close range? All right. The rest would just like general advice, and Pipes would like to know how to prevent getting stiff fingers while playing on the arcade stick. So we'll talk about that at the end. Someone else is talking about that as well. So I'll cover that a little bit. So first we're going to be looking at Delta Plus and Freedom. So that is that's Razor, and we'll just take a look at this from Delta Plus's perspective. So this is Razor's. So he wants to look at spacing with Delta Plus. So we'll look at this overall. We'll talk about movement and stuff like that, and with a little bit of emphasis on spacing. You have a little issue getting in with Dragon Gundam. Make sure you're... Oh, I'll talk about that afterwards. Someone... oh, okay, the stage. So I'd say, first of all, on-angle stuff, right? So we're off-angle a lot here, and a lot of really aggressive boosting. So... Also want to make sure you, if you're going to try and throw your assist for Oki, you want to make sure you time it so they're getting up. You can actually react to when they tech, and then fire it. Ooh, so, aggressive BZing, definitely I'd like to see a little bit more jumping and a little more, so kind of like Thug is, the BZ actually kind of really messes your rhythm up, so. Ah! This is a problem. That's as best you can do is trade there. You have no real answer there, so. Ah. All right, so it looks like he overcosted his partner. Yeah, so that's going to be a really big problem. Of course, this stage is also, it kind of leans towards really close in play. They're all kind of stuck in the corner. A lot of overheating. So, this is good. Should be able to get this melee. Yeah. Ow! At the result of getting hit, but actually you can combo off of that. I think. Is it? I don't remember. You should have tried at least, because I'm not entirely sure if you got the full hit off on that AC. So it would have been nice to confirm that was yellowed. Ah! Alright. So... okay, so... he should just try and, like, borrow PS3 from someone. Okay, cool. So... I say the biggest problem, first of all, is he overcost his partner, right? So, so that was obviously not good. And the reason why he overcost his partner is because he was playing really, really aggressively. So to to answer his question, I would say more than he is right now, he should be playing a little more passively, because you don't want to... I mean, if you actually watch what's happening, he didn't, like, lose too many exchanges, right? He probably won, I'd say, 70% of these exchanges that he did. But as a result, he got cut and got hit, and, you know, he took a lot of damage. And as a result, he took more damage than Wing. Now, we're not going to watch... Or are we going to watch Wing? No, we're not. So we're not going to watch from Wings, but he was playing pretty deep in there. So I won't say that like Wing was playing too passively here. I would say it looks like it looks like Razor was just being, you know, a little aggressive, and not particularly about the aggressiveness, but just in terms of movement, was he was overheating a lot and doing a lot of aggressive things. So BZ usage. Now BZ is good. You know, it gets force knockdown / pop-ups, and it is a lot fatter than the BR, but it forces your Vernier, and I noticed that he's doing a lot of like BZ boost and stuff like that, and he's basically blowing out all of his ammo. Now, blowing out all your ammo like that is pretty good with with Delta Plus, because you have like infinite ammo practically. The problem is he's doing it while being really close. So you want to make sure, if you're going to be really aggressive and do a lot of really aggressive support by throwing tons of stuff on the screen, you want to make sure you're doing it not at the expense of getting hit, right? So I would say if you're going to play this close, do a lot more boost jumps and use your BR a lot more, and focus on doing more safe play rather than risky, aggressive stuff that just going to result in you getting hit a lot. Because he just got hit a lot because he was just being really aggressive. Now, some of it did pay out, but I feel like just fundamentally a lot of it's not really that optimal, and I think a lot of the people getting hit by some of that stuff probably could have avoided it. So, you know, I would say a lot of it is unnecessary. Like, you're firing a lot in times when you don't need to, and just a simple BR is going to suffice, kind of thing. And just kind of focus more on getting landing punishes rather than air-to-air stuff, because air-to-air stuff is not as reliable, especially when people have better movement. The better movement people do, the less you can really rely on air-to-air shots, and primarily what we saw here was air-to-air shots. Let's go ahead and take a look at this from Freedom's perspective now, and for the Freedom player is Pipes, or Pippies, I guess Pippies, yeah, Pippies. Good. Oops, there we go. Also, off angle. Okay, so before I start this, so in the first like 30 seconds or like 20 seconds of this match, also we see that Delta Bless, like, well, he did this BC business and then a bunch of other random stuff. But actually, the biggest problem was not that he was doing all that silly stuff, because, you know, it's fine. The problem was that he was landing out of angle, so he was facing towards the camera a lot. And the problem with that is it means that you can't just like BR if you BR before you take off from the ground. Obviously, if you boost towards them, then you fixed it. But if you're landing and you're not facing towards them, you know, you're gonna have, if you BR, you're gonna force your Vernier on. So we don't want to do that. Yeah, we want to try and be on angle all the time. Unless you're playing like Kushatra, there's very little reason to ever be off angle if you can help it. So we want to really focus on being on angle as much as possible. I believe you can camera cancel that. I don't remember specifically Freedom whether you can camera cancel his Garobi, but it's worth trying. So try holding down 2 while you do that. That's unfortunate. So this stage is like really gross to play on too. It's just like, you know, really up in front, and, you know, so off angle there, right? Off angle. So he has an activate here, so hopefully he can use it. I disagree with that activate. You might as well boost one more time. Like, you might as well put yourself into overheat. So you should be able to get this landing punish. So here, he switches back, but he doesn't get this landing punish, so you know, definitely you should be aiming for that lightning punish there. So I'd say just focus on a lot more lightning punishes, and you know, just too much vernier. These subs, like, you don't want to throw them out when they're not going to be doing anything. Also, more I would like to see some barrel rolls too. Ooh, yeah, it's just a lot of really overall aggressive usage of boosting. You have an activate though, so you know this is your last life. So here he wants to be playing a little bit passively. He is taking a lot of health, but so well, that's like that's really not good. Yeah, that probably cost them the game because they probably would have killed Wing Zero if that was the case. But boosting towards your opponent like that is like never a good idea, even on wake up, because he was on angle. Now he would have won, like this is a case where the Freedom player would have won the game if he just sidestepped, right? If he just woke up and did sidestep BR, perfect, right? He was like over, the Wing Zero was like over here. There was very little he could have done there. I would say the stage is also like pretty gross to play on. I think it does promote a little bit closer play, but even so, I don't think that the players should be trying to play so aggressively even on this stage. I think it would pay off to just not waste so much boost, because people are basically just throwing their boost away and aiming for air-to-air hits. So just generally overall, more emphasis on trying to landing punish and on angle. Also, you know, use your barrel roll more. Okay, so here we're watching Blue Destiny. This is Stemif's play. So he wants to talk about how to use exam properly. Yeah, and just general Blue Destiny play. So overall, whenever we're talking about a suit like Blue Destiny, we're gonna just talk about on angle. We're just gonna be talking about, you know, is he on angle? Is he using his machine gun right? You know, is he swerving and stuff? So you know, it looks like he's doing a pretty good job here. So I would like to see more rocket use. Like he has two, and he's not really using them. So you know. So he had a command hop that he probably could have used to avoid that too. So you know, he's jumping a lot, which is good, but he's kind of overheating and not firing. So you know, I don't know why he did such a delayed jump into rocket. You can actually just fire, and then you know, there's no reason not to fire a machine gun like all the time, because you have an infinite reload. Yeah, so I'd say he's not really helping his partner as well. And I think that seems to be the pattern with a lot of the players, is like they're kind of just going off and one-on-oneing. So this works out well, but you know, it'd be nice to see combo, but it's okay. So, so actually, I think firing at Zeta here would have been a really good idea, but yeah. So results, this happens, and like you know, and so, well, okay, yeah, you can't really see it, so I won't pull the chat on this question, but I'll just say, so because he's, you know, they're kind of going off on these one-on-ones, because of that, we see that Blue Destiny is already, like, gonna overcost his partner, as, you know, his Quantum partner is, like, half health, and, he activated Quantum Burst, so I don't know about that. So he dies first, it's really not good. He wasn't able to use an activate beforehand too, so he's got like, you know, 70%. Oh, that's really unfortunate, but he gets his tech recovery. So this camera, I dislike this a lot. We need to see what DX is doing. We really need to know what DX is doing here. I mean, what if he was doing like a Garobi? Alright, so I mean, we ultimately don't get hit, but you know, lack of information is really important. We didn't really see anything by looking at Zeta over there. Yeah. So I probably would just block there, personally, or sidestepped and meleeed. Okay. So they're still doing really good, right? I mean, they're ahead, but his partner, yeah. So you know, health is okay. Good. So overall, what do you want to say about Blue Destiny? About this Blue Destiny play? Assist your partner. I mean, honestly, I don't know why the Quantum player activated Quantum Burst at like half HP. That's a really, really, really bad play. But overall, you definitely want to don't go in those one-on-one situations so much, and really pay more attention to your partner. You know, try and help him cut when he gets hit, and just assist. It's just going to be much better because you overcosted your partner, and it was honestly anyone's game in this match because you overcosted and died twice on Quanta. So the health management was really, really off. And you know, honestly, it's a really hard call to make at that junction in the juncture in the game where you've died once and overcosted Quanta and your Quanta's at like half HP. It's like, okay, do you just down back and then you know let your Quanta die once and then come back overcosted and then and then you play, or do you see if your Quanta partner can down back the whole game and do you take an extra life so that you're running three and no death? And that's a really hard call to make. It depends on how good you think that Quanta player is, and it's really hard to say. It's really a bad situation no matter what. So honestly, rather than discussing that, which is kind of preference and experience, and I don't really have a really good advice to give on which decision to make there because it just depends on how good you think that Quanta player is. If you think that Quanta player is already, if you think that Quanta player is good enough at not dying to let you take an extra life, then go ahead and take an extra life like he did. But yeah, if you don't, then you should just go straight up and just get out there. To answer, I'll just go ahead and answer Roxout's question. How to get in as Dragon. That's pretty much like how to play Dragon, right? So, so the first thing is, if you're not doing it already, get your normal boost by doing sidestep when you take off or flag summon and then boost. You'll get the normal air boost low to the ground rather than a ground movement. It's very, very, very important technique for all mobile fighter suits, which is to get a normal boost, because the normal ground run has a lot of problems with it. It has some advantages too, which I'll talk about. But first of all, if you don't know how to get a normal boost out, that's how you do it: sidestep then boost, or flag summon then boost. I think there's some couple other ones, but those are the two I recommend. Can I show that? Maybe at the very end, if you're still here and you remind me, I can show that. So that's one way to get your boosts out. While you're getting your boost, like to get in, first of all, 2B is really useful for a lot of reasons. Like you can use it as a kind of fastball and to avoid getting shot, especially if it's in green lock, but in red lock too. Using BC while it's green lock can be a really good way to cover distance with very little boost, and even outside green lock, BC is still not bad to way to get in, as long as you rainbow step it. Like don't just BC at people's faces, but BC and then like rainbow step jump or something to try and close distance without having to press B can sometimes be useful. The rest is generally be patient, go for the landing punch. Do not expect as Dragon to just melee people. That does not happen. Like until you're just actually really good, Focus on landing punishing with A and AC, like exclusively. Don't try and melee people as Dragon. It's pretty difficult. Getting in with Dragon is difficult too. Focus on also landing punishing with flags and stuff like that. And since you're playing 2K, a lot of how to get in has to do with how to play back melee, which is kind of its own art. So don't just don't just play Dragon just like just jump in there and just be like, all right, I'm gonna like melee some people, right? You're playing 2K, so you're trying to help your partner who's hopefully 2.5K or 3K. My honest advice if you're playing 2K or 2K 1K is like it's not really how that suit's gonna be played. So just try your best and just try to do your best. But if you're playing with a partner whose cost is higher than yours, you're generally trying to assist him. So your ways of like getting in and meleeing are watch for your partner. you know, he's going to be doing some stuff. Just try and play alongside of him. And, you know, when your partner goes in and gets a lot of, attracts a lot of attention, that's like your key to go in, you know, when the opponents are busy trying to do stuff. Or just try and help cut your opponents or melee people who are trying to get your partner, you know. A lot of other things you can do are sneak attacks, or, you know, the JP Wiki will often refer to as like Yamyuchi, which is try and like sneak attack and, you know, not look at somebody so that he's not worried about you, and then kind of switch to him at the last moment by using your minimap to kind of see that you're close without actually looking at him, and just try and switch. Switching a lot, fast switching is a really good way to get in as melee 2K with Dragon. But a lot of, you know, the way Dragon gets in on people and hits people is just moving very, very patiently, just being very patient, and don't just boost off, take off, and expect that you're going to hit them. You know, try moving with the goal of getting closer. So moving not to hit them, but moving to get closer. And so, you know, a lot of thing about 2K Melee is you don't have as much boost, so it's pretty hard to just, you know, go from point A to point B where you're half screen away, possibly outside red lock, to getting them with a melee. That's actually really difficult, you know. You can do it, but you'll probably be like, you know, out of boost by the end, you know. So one of the things I would just try and practice landing and not getting hit while landing and being close to them. If you can get near them and land near them without getting hit, that's already really good, and you've actually achieved a lot. From there, once you're close to them, you can be very boost inefficient and do a lot of your weird tactics. You know, you can do 2Bs and press A a lot and AC and stuff like that, and just try and do a lot of weird things. Once you're close in, you can afford to be a lot more liberal with your boost, and you can do a lot of things that will work. But, you know, if you're too far away from not even in red lock, there's really not much you can do to even be tricky to get in on them. So a lot of the time you just have to bite the bullet and just try and even get in first. Once you're in, you know, once you're close, then you can do a lot of these cool things. And of course, playing with your partner will help a lot for that. So taking the opportunity that your partner is building for you, keyword is your partner is building opportunities for you, right? Taking those opportunities and working to make the most of them, that's really part of key Dragon play. And it's really hard, so I would say, you know, it's really hard. Use AC when they're landing, never, ever, ever, ever outside that. You can use AC air to air, but you're pretty much hoping that they're doing something that makes them stand still for an extended period of time. I wouldn't really recommend it. I would recommend you only using AC right when they're landing. AC has really, really bad guidance. It's really bad, so it's going to miss like 99% of the time if you're using it air to air. Just try and focus on using it only landing punish. Air to air, just focus on using A. It's much better than using AC. It's a lot less risky. Good. Okay, so did we talk about this Blue Destiny play? I would say use like your tools other than main more often, particularly Rocket. Rocket's really good. Like, you should just use Rocket all the time. I think you're being a little bit too. I think the Blue Destiny player is being a little bit too you know, passive about his Rocket use. It's really good, and there's really not that many times when you don't want to throw it out. So try and be a little more liberal about your Rocket usage. Be careful about when you're being punished, and try and use your hop, your little dance fall to protect yourself a little bit more with that. In general, you know, sometimes he's jumping but not using his machine guns. I would say just, you know, be more liberal with your machine gun if you're jumping. You know, there's no reason not to use your machine gun because it's automatic reload, right? Other than that, it's more of just like overall play. You know, just try and play more with your partner. And to answer the exam question, yeah, your assist is better, so you go ahead and, you know, try and utilize your new exam assist. And melee is good in exam, but it's not super amazing. And because you're 2K, I would say just try and use your activation more to help with the tempo of the game and use it to get guaranteed damage in or avoid getting hit or whatnot. But other than that, it's not like you're really going to be a one-man army when you have exam on. So I would say the fundamental play while you have exam on is pretty similar to non-exam play. It's just a matter of playing as a team. So that will generally dictate the match more than any fancy business you have during exam. You know, you have better tools in exam, so you use them when you can. But overall, just try and focus on watching what your partner's doing and, you know, playing with him more. Because you just kind of ran off and did your own thing, and as a result, you overcosted, and it was just a really sticky situation. So let's take a look at the next one. This is, we're watching Sazabi and then Zeta. So Sazabi, how to play front with Sazabi. on Moon Moon. So I'd say, first of all, yeah. So I would say I was waiting for him to throw out some funnels, right? So Sazabi's a funnel suit, and while Sazabi's funnel play is not, for example, as much, it doesn't need to be relied on as much as, for example, funnel play with Kubile or Puru. Funnels are still really good, and you should think of funnels as time investment. You're investing time. So you're investing time in vernier and boost and stuff for some future benefit, which is a final shot. So when I see in this the beginning here is he's kind of in green lock and he doesn't throw his funnels out, and then he jumps in and then throws funnels. That's to me a really big mistake. I mean, why dedicate throwing out funnels and forcing your vernier and forcing yourself to waste a lot of boost and stuff in the beginning, or sorry, when you're in the fray, rather than throwing them out early on. So I obviously he's not really going in, so I don't mind not throwing funnels here. Although I think that Garaby would have hit here. Getting hit here sucks. But yeah, so freedom's going in, right? This is your key. Okay, well my partner's going in. I need to be going in, right? So I would probably throw out funnels here while boosting. Here or here, right? But instead this BR make funnel, look at his boost. Look at this boost. We're already at 30%, quarter, 25% boost. A really ugly boost to be at here. At this point I would just say land and bite the bullet or boost away and try not to die, because you're really really not good. And let's look again at how this happened, right? He gets hit here, that's not the end of the world. Boost jump. So all this was a boost jump BR sub. Alright, boost jump BR sub. And then into another jump. And we're already out of the game. You're out of the game at this point, right? It's just pretty much goodbye. So this BR funnel cancel, it's okay. It's okay, if you can do it, but this is just not the right time to throw it out, right? I mean, yeah, and then as a result, you had to get hit there, right? You got to trade in at best, so it wasn't that bad, but So I hope he doesn't make a more funnels, just more funnels, please. Yeah. No, see, this is not the right kind of funnel, because you're gonna hit here. Yeah. So funnel when you take off, not in the middle like that. I mean, funneling maybe once in the middle if you don't think you're gonna get hit is great, but it's just so much boost, so Garoby also would be really nice. Garoby, that was guaranteed. Oh well. He has his assist up too. He has activate, so you want to run away here. Ugh, this is very gross. So make sure. So all the overheating. So this is good, right? This is a lot better. This you should get that. All right, it looks like his partner got it, or his assist. I couldn't tell. So this is better. I like this a little bit better now. So I like Garoby. I really like to see him use Garoby more. And so to answer his question about this charge shot A, yeah, I'd say actually honestly don't really worry too much about the charge shot A. It's it has its uses, but I mean with funnels and stuff, you don't really run out too much, and just a BR is fine a lot of the time. Yeah, this is a good sidestep, but oh, looks like Zeta fucked up there. So look at his boost, right? Overheat. So we really want to try and not. Okay, looks like a Zhang did not get that punish, but we really want to try and work on our boost management here. Yeah. So to answer his question about how to play front with Sazabi, well, I mean, you're not really playing front here. Char's assist like all the time. Just throw it out all the time. You don't really. There's no real strategy to it. I mean, there is, but for now, just throw it all the time. Well, I don't know which Char you're talking about, but I'm assuming you're talking about Gelgoog. Arcane, my recommendation is don't use it. If you're if you're watching videos, you're probably watching full boost videos, because like Gundam Wings Lariat is not that good. It has its uses, but you have to really be good before you can. You have to be really good before you know when to do it, because it's a charge shot and you have to hold down A ahead of time. You need to basically predict the future and say, hey, I'm gonna need to use Lariat like soon, so let me start holding down A. I would say just use it as anti-melee. If you know you're gonna need to beat out a melee in like 3 seconds, then start holding it down. But it's pretty hard, so I would actually really recommend not worrying about it, because there's a lot more important things to be practicing with that suit than charge shot A usage. And I would say he has a lot of ways to beat melee anyways. It's pretty good around buildings and stuff, and yeah, I would say if you're seeing it used a lot in videos, you're probably watching Wing Zero TV use it all the time in full boost, and that's because that one does not require charge shot. Wing Zero custom endless waltz version, Wing Zero endless waltz versions is a charge shot, so you have to hold it down. But Wing Zero TVs is not. So you see Wing Zero TVs all the time because they can just react to situations with, oh, Lariat. I didn't think this was gonna happen, but hey, Lariat, and you just do it. Right, but Wing Zero Custom has to hold it down, so it's just used a lot less because you have to hold down a button. Obviously it denies the usage of your A, and he has a lot of good anti-melee stuff too. 2BC is good, melee Rainbow Step and 2A is really good. So it's not really the end of the world if you just don't use it. I would honestly recommend just not using it, especially if you're new with the suit. Just don't even worry about that move. All right, so. Talking about Sazabi, how to play front with Sazabi. Well, I'll answer this question, though. I will say that, this was not really playing Sazabi front. This was playing Sazabi back, even if he was playing aggressively, because his partner died first. So, congratulations, you're back, even if you didn't want to be, right? How to play Sazabi front? Use your assists, first of all, right? Sazabi has a really hard time without assists, just like VX from playing front. So you definitely want your assists to... you definitely want your assists to help you get stuff on the board. But, a lot of playing front with Sazabi has to do with your funnel usages, and it's definitely not this, right? You do not want to do BR into funnel all the time, because if we just watched his boost usage, it was really, really poor, overheating all the time. We just really don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We really don't want to do that. So try and sneak in summoning funnels, before you land or right before you take off from the ground, when you have time to. Again, time is the most important part. When you have the opportunity to throw them out. Don't rely on just doing mid-funnel usage, because it's just really risky. It's so much boost. If you just watch the boost, it just drains it instantly. All your boost is gone. Other than that, there's not really too much about front Sazabi. I would say I'll just give overall Sazabi advice, because hopefully you're not playing front too much with Sazabi. He's better played back. But if you are, generally I will say, watch out for when you're using Garabi. Don't use it too much, because it's a lot harder to get it off when you have two people double locking you since you're front. And just overall fundamental play. There's not really much more I can say about Sazabi. It's just BR and funnel and move good. Jump more. Be more conservative. Know when to take, know when to take initiative. Just play a clean game. How to play Sazabi in general, though. My overall recommendations for what's his name again? Stamif is So watch. Don't do this BR funnel summoning, you just spend so much of your boost, and then you're forced into really, really icky situations, right? We just don't want icky situations. Don't want icky situations, right? Use your Garobi more. There were plenty of opportunities to just Garobi punish the crap out of people, right? So your Garobi is really good. Zabi has like one of the best Garobis in the game because it's got like a 10-second cooldown or 12-second cooldown. The cooldown's really fast on this Garobi. It allows you to abuse it all the time, and combined with funnels, it makes it really easy to just find landings and punish them. And that's really the crux of his game, especially when he's playing back, is like using funnels and BRs and then Garobis combined together to get really easy landing punishes, right? So just watch for the Garobis, watch your movement, you know, avoid using funnels. And I'd really like to see his play after these things have been tweaked. But for now, those things need immediate, you know, immediate medical attention. Good. Let's take a look at it from Zeta's perspective. So Zeta, again, another Zoot that has the on-angle multiple BR shot, right? So we're going to be paying attention mostly to how does he use his BR? Does he use it effectively? Is he keeping on angle? The chat is missized. Let me go ahead and fix this. Oh, it's bugged because like someone with a really long name is in the chat. So yeah, unfortunately we have no way to remedy that. It's cold. 1 second. Just put something on. It's fucking cold. Shit, man. Are we even gonna get to play Nier today? I don't know. Maybe we should just move Nier to tomorrow. Alright, good. Okay, so we're gonna watch Zeta. Ooh. Need more jump shots, honestly, I would say. And less liberal boost movement. So reload. Need to reload. Need to reload. Need to reload. There we go. Alright, that's good. Ooh. So he has activate here, so I think he's gonna use it right here. I would have waited. Yeah. All right. Well, generally, you know, overall, I would say with Zeta, you know, use more jump shots. You know, whew, that move is not so good. I would not recommend using it. That move pretty much caused his death. So I don't know if this player knows that you can rapid shot his BR, but oh, I guess he does, but you know, I would just like to see more jumping and more BR. That would have been a nice time to activate, but looks like he got away with that. So they can actually win here. It's pretty easy. They just need to hit him once, and I don't know what he's gonna do here. Okay. Good. So, you know, overall, the thing's gonna say who's this player. Who's a Zeta player. This is Azazel. So Azazel. Generally, my overall suggestion would be focus on boost hopping more. If you haven't taken a look at the fundamental techniques video, look it up on YouTube. It's translated by one of our NorCal players, Sean, aka Tenkai. And it's really, really, really important. It's a Japanese video translated by him. It's really, really important. And if you haven't watched this yourself, anybody watching this right now, Anybody who plays this game and hasn't watched that video needs to watch it. It is full of pretty much every single important evasive or movement technique you're gonna need to use ever. So really pay attention and watch that video. The big one that I'm seeing every single one of these players so far not using is like Swerve. Kai plays Master, but I think he was playing Red Frame in one of these videos. His PSN name is Fortunas5. Anyways, what was it saying? Whoops. So, especially with a suit like Zeta, you really want to be doing more jumping and BRing because jumping is just really safe. So just more jumps. More jumps. Alright, so this one we are watching Wing and Zeta. Really? Okay. I mean, it's really hard for me to even, like, just search, like, fundamental techniques, EXVS or something. It's, yeah. So, I think we're going to be watching, what, Wing? Yeah. Yep, okay. That's good. So, it's really hard for me to talk about things like health preservation or, you know, team comp and stuff like that when the movement is just so off that, you know, here like, the big problem with a lot of this play is, like, the movement mistakes a lot of these players are playing is dictating this match. Because it's like, oh, you moved wrong, so now you have to, like, boost away, and now we can't even talk about, like, you know, how to support our partner or positioning because, you know, you messed up your movement and now you have to run away and you got overheat and punished and you're knocked down and then, you know, suddenly it's an entirely different game. So good. So I'd say one of the things about this Wing player is he needs to play a little closer, actually. Just a little bit. It's hard to see, but he needs to just be a little bit closer. The main just does not have good enough guidance unless you're, like, around this range. I mean, pretty close range, honestly. Like, Wing actually is not a really good at, like, long range, despite what you may think. Because his landings, the Garobi landing punish it's pretty slow. So you need to actually be kind of close to get it corrected correctly. So, like, no, that's just not going to work. That's going to be good, right? So his partner taking a lot of health. So, you know, IJ here. If I was this Wing player, honestly, I would probably just play defense because this IJ is just going ham. So I would say before anything else, like, as an overall comment to, and it looks like he does end up playing second, so that's a good BC, but, you know, can't really do much. You're overheated, and well, looks like he's gonna win this though. No. No, that could have been the win there. That could have been the win. That also could have been the win. Well, it probably wouldn't have killed him, but, you know, very, very close. Anyways, so I will say overall to, like, the players in this video, like these four players, you know, if you haven't read the translated beginner's guide that's on my Google sites, translated by me. If you haven't read that yet, I highly recommend it because I think there's, like, just a lot of problems that can be easily fixed by just reading that document. Things like understanding front and back, and you know, understanding health conservation and, you know, basic movement, and, you know, understanding the weaknesses and advantages of boosting in certain ways and such and so forth. A lot of this will just, you know, be much better if you just focus on if you just read that if you haven't already. Let's see. So this was Stamif, right? And then here we're gonna watch Zeta from this too. So for example, there, IJ was just playing really aggressively, right? Like, super aggressively, and just kind of ramboed in. Oops, we're watching Zeta. My bad. Ah, it's unfortunate. This map's actually pretty mean for that trick because of the stupid little hill, so it's a little harder to see like what they're doing because it's got that little edge. So again, we're seeing like, you know, the boosting is just very, very. So you should be able to get this. See, I don't know why. Oops. See, like he gave up there, and this is I think I see this player and players in general do this a lot, which is I actually feel like they're not. Because there you should have been like, oh, he's landing. I can, like, you know, I can do something maybe, and then just try and get something out. But a lot of the time, I see like people landing, and then they just like switch their target. And it's true that like IJ got the melee, so maybe, you know, if they're playing in the real life, the guy's like, oh, yo, like help me being hit or whatnot, and that's okay. But regardless, I will say overall that like, you know. It seems like a lot of these players are not very conscious about landings in general. So, you know, landing punishing is the game. This game is a landing punish game. Oh, and he didn't even get meleeed. It was Turn X who got meleeed, or Turn X who hit him. Going for the melee there is obviously, yeah, pretty risky. Gets that spear punish. I don't really like the spear though. I actually think it's not that good. But, you know, it does work when it works. So there, you know, he could have shot way earlier. But just in general, you know, needs more jumping and BRing. So you know, Zeta, like I don't know if he's not paying attention to his ammo, but he should definitely reload there, right? Like he has no ammo and he's landing. What else is he gonna do? Just reload. And he still hasn't reloaded, right? He has to boost. He like boosts out of his reload. Yeah, the hook shot is okay. You just have to be. It's a really good close range maneuver. It's a really good landing punish, but you have to be really close. So not like that. Like it's really good because it can be rainbow stepped. Hey. Punish! Okay, well, he got one. You have an activate. Yeah, okay. So another thing that I'll say here about that activate, and a lot of activates in general that I see some players doing, try and really activate exactly when you need to. Okay, like exactly when you need to. My recommendation is if you like activate. So what? Okay, so usually when we activate, what is the resource we want back? Who wants to be the good student? Answer. What are we trying to gain from our activate? Generally, most of the time, what is the thing we're looking for specifically? Boost. Thank you, Magic. Thank you. Yes. Boost and ammo. Yes. Ammo too. Yes. So, but generally it's boost, right? Boost. So when do we activate then? This is a very when do we activate? When do we actually activate? When should we activate? Yes. Like, even more basically. Okay. Well, the answer I was looking for, but that's also a right answer too. That's fine too. That's fine as well. These are all fine questions. The one I wanted to say was when you want to spend boost, right? When you want to spend your boost, right? Since we're using it to get boost, right? Generally, so this is only this we're talking within the realm of activating for boost refill, right? We want to activate at the moment when we actually want to boost, right? So for example, I've seen in certain replays before, I forget whose it was, right? I saw a activate at like 15% boost, right? And it was a good time to activate, but you might as well boost one more time before activating. There's no reason not to, right? There's no reason not to. That's an extra free boost you just threw away, right? It actually makes a big difference, right? So So you might as well, you want to actually activate when you're going to, you know, boost. If you're not going to boost there, and you activated due to boosting, then just don't activate there. Activate later. So I would just try and practice boosting at the last second. One of the things you'll see me do a lot, like all the time. Yes, we will, Citrus. You see me do all the time when I activate for boost, right? And it's something that a lot of players, not just me, will do, right? I didn't mean to like phrase that like only I do this, but like, you know, if you watch me, because I'm playing this game a lot, so you might not see a lot of other people play on the stream other than the replays, but you know, when you see people in general activate, you'll see oftentimes they do something like they fire and then they activate, right? You'll see me do that a lot. Is the value of boost inversely valued to how much boost is left? Yeah, I would say. Yeah, I mean, you might as well boost and overheat. What's the point of boosting, you know, when you have half boost left? Unless you need the ammo, unless you want it for damage or whatever reason, right? Or of course if you're getting hit or whatever, right? But we're just talking within the realms of using boost to, for example, guarantee damage or prevent ourselves from dying, etc. Right? So you'll see me do something like BR boost, BR boost, BR boost, and I'll just do that until I'm out of boost, and then BR activate, right? Because when do I need boost? After my fire, then I want to boost cancel out of it, right? So I'll activate and then I'll fire and then immediately activate, right? And then I can boost because I have my refill now, right? So that's a pretty good example of activating when you actually need it. And I want people to actually try and do that, which is try and actually activate when you need to, because it's not well, there's a couple reasons why it's actually good. First of all, it does save time and boost. You're edging out even that little bit, and sometimes it might not be a big difference, but sometimes it does, right? But in addition, it's the opponent's observation, right? If you boost early, like a lot of the time actually, when I play against like people who are a little bit new to the game, they'll activate and it's like a good time, but it's so early that it doesn't catch me by surprise. I go, oh, you activate? Okay, well, I didn't really commit, right? But the later you activate, the more dedicated an opponent might be, the more commitment they might make, right? So the later on you activate, the better the chance of catching them by surprise is going to be. So even if it's only by like half a second or a heartbeat, right? The earlier you activate, the weaker the general surprise factor is going to be, and that's actually really, really important, because you know, if you activate the last moment, you know, if the opponent thinks you're going to land, it's like, yes, I got him, and you know, they're going to try really hard to confirm this landing, and they're going to boost more, and they're just going to be more liberal with it. So the later on you activate there, the better chance you have at catching them doing something risky, and that's really important. That's really, really important. It happens all the time. So really try and work on that in terms of your activation usage here. Now, that's not the case for Zeta or certain other suits with super armor, but that's just an entirely different thing. Or suits like Quanta that have Quantize, or Double O. So those suits is a little bit different. Or Meikyo, or for example, Master with Meikyo Shisui, like those things are different because, you know, the extra movement is actually important, more so than the lack of burst sometimes. So with those suits, they have you know, some extra bonuses. These are people from crossover forms. So that was a problem of being on angle and not correcting it there at the end, right? So he wanted to boost and swerve, or boost, you know, at an angle away, not boost towards the camera into the angle of wing fire. So, you know, that's just the kind of mistake. All right. So now we're going to be looking at Delta and Freedom. And so this Delta player is played by Razor. Yeah, and you know, that kind of problem that we just talked about, Simo says I have that problem all the time too. Yeah, that's a very common problem, and you'll see me have that problem too. But you want to at least know what the problem is, which is basically at the last minute you see that you're being shot, so you react with a boost, and sometimes you just don't have enough time to make a well-planned decision about what direction. So a lot of that is experience and, you know, improving your kind of your Ooh, that's a very, very YOLO melee. A lot of that has to do with experience and being able to make twitch decision making. But you know, a lot of it is also just knowing ahead of time, like just being aware of an opponent's. I don't know about that assist cancel, as it was kind of like less damage, but I think it was less damage. Pretty sure it's less damage. A lot of that is being conscious of the angles of fire that can come from an opponent, which is based on positioning, and then knowing ahead of time, you know, if they fire, which angle you need to boost to. So, whoa! Overheat. So, ammo. Yeah. So, ooh, yeah, so that kind of like boost, or sidestep and then boost, and then land, you know, he's at like 50% boost. You might as well just recover from the sidestep and then land. Need to work on ammo refilling, you know. Definitely needs to work on ammo refilling. Oh! Ooh, I really don't like this. But this is okay, but I still think that was just really, really risky. And, well, this didn't really result in anything. So, you know, generally just, I think Razor really needs to improve his usage of, like, jump shots and abusing Delta Plus's strengths. Because he's not really playing Delta Plus. He's not really taking advantage of Delta Plus's strengths, which is the ability to attack extremely safely and cover the screen with stuff. So I definitely don't see a lot of ACA. I don't see a lot of jumping into BRs. I see a lot of melees that are extremely risky and don't end up working out very well. So jump and shoot. that's the easiest way to get better, a lot better with this suit. We are watching Freedom. So jump and shoot. More jumping, more jump shots, basically. More jump shots boost slower. Just play, like, a lot of these people just play really fast paced and it doesn't really pay off. They just need to slow down. Yeah, he wasn't even looking. Like, I don't know what that BR or that Garabi was supposed to be. So also, you know, watch your lock color. So you want to make sure you're actually attacking in red lock. Good. Well, not good, but I mean, fundamentally good. Also, ammo here, right? So these are just really wasted shots. They're not going to hit anything. Uh-oh. So, a pretty inefficient burst there, in my opinion. But yeah, off angle like all the time, you know. Just really gotta work on that on angle. Really gotta work on that on angle. Ah. Yeah, like, just, you know, I really don't like seeing the kind of like boost hop and then immediate boost. You know, if you're falling, it's free. You don't spend boost for falling. Like, you know, people are generally playing really high in the air because they're not falling. It makes you even riskier when you're overheating, and yeah. I mean, there are advantages to being high, but it's more like it's an observation that I'm making due to the fact that people are basically playing really fast. So, you know, overall just movement. Movement on angle. I'm not even going to talk about, like, you know, playing as a partner and stuff, because, you know, I feel like you need to know how to kind of play fundamentally before you can really focus on too much partner play. You know, beyond like the big things like you're going to die, you should run away, you know. But, you know, things like positioning with your partner and all that kind of stuff really should really should come after things like understanding basic movement. Good. All right, so we're gonna be watching Infinite Justice here. So this replay is just all Razor. This is all Razor. All right, so his partner is Quanta. Okay, hold up. So his thing was how to close in against ranged opponents is Justice. Right. Punish! Ah! Punish! Alright. That's pretty unfortunate. There you'd have to shield, basically, knowing that the width may catch you. Whoa! So he has like almost full activate. That's kind of a problem, but so yeah, it's like, you know, liberal boost usage. Punish! Too far, unfortunately. Nah, see, oh, that's the biggest. That to me right there. Okay. Who wants to answer? Who thinks they can answer? So why I'm about to say the following statement. That scenario right there was the biggest indication of like the level I think Razor is at right now, and what I think he needs to work on. Who can answer why I say that? Yeah, okay. I'll give that to Pastry, yeah. He looked away from the landing punish, right? More specifically, though, there was... a little more specifically. Like, it was a landing punish, but, like, why was the landing punish? He did something very, very, very important. He did something very important. No. He didn't sidestep. No, he didn't. He did have a projectile out. All right, this is really important. So let's go ahead and actually we'll replay this. It's kind of far through this replay, like, you know, he... That's pretty unfortunate. Ow. That sucks. Alright, I think it's coming after he dies. Because I think he dies here, yeah. Ow! Ah, it's painful. Alright. Alright, it comes up here. I believe this is it. Okay, guys. Watch, he does something here. Why is what he did a very big indication? Oh, never mind. Hold up. Okay, it's here then. No? When is it? When does it come out? Okay, hold up. We gotta find that this. It must be here. Oh, it must be here. I think. Like after he activates, and then yeah. Nope. All right. All right. It must be coming up. I think it's here. All right. Watch. Ah, no. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? All right. It must be here. Must. No. Oh, okay. Here it's coming. It's coming up right here. Right here. Okay. Alright, what is it? It's very important. It's very important. It's the most important part of why this particular No, it has nothing to do with health. Nothing to do with health. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. No, it's not just the ED lock though. It's not just the ED locked. No. It has nothing to do with like a BC. He did something. He did something. No, not yellow lock. So the answer. So Pastry already answered the correct answer, which is he looked away from a landing punish. But I said specifically, what is it that made this a landing punish? Because it came from him. It came from Razor here. Razor did something really good, but I don't think he realized the impact of it. No. It wasn't Wing using BC. That extended his landing, and then what happened? What happened? So IJ did, you know, BR, or like he did like charge shot, BR. Wing did like boost jump, and then BC, and then IJ did something. What happened to IJ after that? IJ did like boost jump, charge shot, boost BR. Then what happened? Well, you can see where we are right now. No, Wing did BC, but what did IJ do? IJ did charge shot, boost BR. And then what? What happened after that? Something very important. Very important. Anyone know? This is... It's on the screen, actually. You can see from looking at the screen what happened. So Wing is up in the air. He BC'd and he's probably boosted again. Alright, and IJ. Okay, no one knows this. Okay. He landed. So the important thing was he landed early, right? It was IJ was able to land before Wing. Alright. So that is the biggest indication. That's the biggest indication. That's why it's a landing punch, right? It's not a landing punch. It wouldn't have been a landing punch unless he landed early, right? But he landed early. He got that landing. That's the important part. He got the landing, right? Because if he just stayed in the air and just kept on shooting with Wing, then he would then they would basically fall at the same time, or he wouldn't be able to get a landing punch because he's like falling. Right? He's like landing and then Wing lands and recovers because he's not able to get a landing. But he landed early enough that if he took off again and he just kept on hunting Wing, then he gets a landing punch for free, right? So that's the big indicator to me, right? That he doesn't know that he gets a landing punch here because he was able to get the landing. That's the important part. Oh shit, Wing used 8BC and you landed as IJ. Perfect, right? Now Wing has like 50% boost and you have like 100 boost. This is free now. This is pretty much free. There's nothing Wing can do. He uses ABC. He uses BC already, right? Or it was like probably like 2 BC or whatever. But he uses BC, so he has like no answers now other than Lariat, which is not going to happen, right? And I'm pretty sure Boomerang beats that anyways if you time that right. So you know, so he got the early landing, right? And as soon as he landed, he switched over and looked to Zeta, right? And now he's gonna like shoot Zeta and follow Zeta, right? Now this is just really sad because like I think Zeta like Wing is like landing like right now, and he pretty much has like a free punish, and he's gonna get hit for that and die. You know? So that to me is, you know, that's the biggest indication that he's not looking for landing punishes. He only is looking for them when they're in his face, you know, but he's not actively trying to aim for landing punishes. Right. Is the fact that he was able to sneak in the landing and didn't really realize the impact that makes. Right. Every time you land, actually, honestly, every single time you touch the ground, you should be checking and looking and thinking about, okay, what's the boost stats on everyone else in this match? How does this impact my play? Yeah. So to answer his question about how to close in against ranged opponents as Justice, well, I would say like that's not really important, and you don't really have tricks. It's just fundamentals of just clean movement. Like I've answered like almost every single question and overall reviewed these players is movement. Focus on, you know, movement and landing punishing. Movement, landing punishing. I would say on angle wasn't too much of a deal in this match. I would say work a little bit on charge shotting with IJ more properly, like as landing punishing or as poking, and not when they're just like high in the air and just gonna miss entirely. What else? And yeah, just you know, you shouldn't really worry too much about how to close in against ranged opponents because you should be playing support. Especially here, you're playing with Quanta. I don't know what's up with this Quanta player, but like this Quanta player, like he quantizes randomly or something, and it's pretty random. So, you know, I would say I would say, you know, Quanta should just be playing friend and pooing on people, and you should just be supporting as IJ. You shouldn't really worry about how to close in against opponents when you're the back player because the opportunities, the gaps happen for you. Just you look for the gaps and you move in. Basically, you look for the opportunities to close in distance and you just take them. Right. Good. All right. Next is Quanta and Zeta. So I'm pretty sure what I'm going to say here with the Quanta is. Dropopi, who is people? Because if you're saying Shota, that's just Shota. It's actually like an inside joke of ours. Because like, like people in Gaf Gundam have this like really silly idea that IJ is like a melee suit. We actually have it like quoted for posterity as like Shota says like IJ is a melee suit, and it's just like yeah, yeah. I'll just move on. All right, so yeah. So, I don't know if this Quanta player like knows how to play this character because he keeps on activating Quantum Burst, and he really shouldn't. But that's good. He's going in. So you know, you want that boost dash melee if possible, not the 8B, but the boost dash melee. Especially when they're running away. You know, obviously I've said before, don't use boost dash melee when you think they're gonna attack you. But here, like everybody's on the defensive, you just boost dash melee, and especially when you got bits on, right? I would also say I would like. I would like to see more BR into sub cancel. Yeah, so I really don't know about this. I really don't know about this quantize. He hasn't done anything, and he had shield bits, I think, and he just quantized without it. Yeah, so. Yeah, get that BC. I don't know about this burst either. Yeah, you can block Garabis. He should have been able to punish that, but I guess his AC got it, but I don't know. So he needs to make sure his partner doesn't die first, so he should actually honestly like commit suicide here. Or do something so risky that he can commit suicide. Instead he gets overcosted, that's a problem. Ah, 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 ah. Alright. So we're just gonna not watch this because yeah, he doesn't really know how to play Quanta. So my advice is like you need to actually like learn how to play Quanta. So use your melee and don't quantize like that. Quantize is really bad. So only quantize when you really need to, like when you're about to die. And I would actually suggest never quantizing on your first life. I would probably just suggest like watch like a single video of someone playing Quanta. That's probably like. Because rather than just explaining to you like how to play Quanta overall, like you know, if you just watch like a single video of someone playing Quanta, it should make perfect sense. On angle. On angle. So he has an activate. I'd like to see him use it there. No! That was a really good time to activate. He even got the turnaround shots. He was like out of burst. So he's like out of ammo here, like randomly refilled, but just really gotta watch your ammo with this suit. You know, ammo management is really important with these kind of suits. You can't take it lightly. Yeah, and like here he's out of ammo and he has to refill at some point, unless he like bursts. Like why is he not refilling? I don't understand. There he is. Look, he's just not paying attention to it because he refills when he presses A because he wants to fire. So it refills and then he fires it. Yeah. Also, yeah, the spear is not very good. I really wouldn't recommend the spear. It's okay, but it doesn't really. It's not that amazing. There, if he had fired instead of shot the spear, he probably would have gotten him. And he's out of ammo again, so he can't fire. He's still out of ammo, and then he wanted to fire, so he reloaded. Good. Yeah, you really need to reload ammo, yeah. This is like I'm just staring at the empty ammo. Yeah. Alright. Cool. Good. Okay, can you block... Oh, I already answered that question. Good. So overall, what I'd say as a Zeta player is watch your ammo. So make sure you're reloading your ammo when you want to reload your ammo. Like the Delta Plus player as well, and like everyone else, movement. Work on your on-angle shots, and make sure you do more jump shots. Jump shots are really good. I'd also say I wouldn't really recommend the spear. It's not very good. Yeah, I would say there are better things you can do than shoot the spear, honestly. And perhaps use more missiles as anti-melee and close range. They're also quite useful. Can you boost cancel rainbow? Yes, you can boost... Well, you're in neutral once you rainbow stab. So you can boost. It's not really a cancel, though. Like, you're in neutral as soon as you finish your... Like, once you rainbow step, you're in neutral, so you can, like, do whatever you want. It happens, like, instantly. So you can just boost out once you're done with your rainbow step. Yes. Good. Alright, so, again, for the Quanta player, I would suggest just watching a couple videos really quick of some decent Quanta play so you understand what it looks like. But overall, you know, don't quantize, use your shield bits, use boost dash melee, learn some basic boost dash melee combos. And yeah, it was really hard. I didn't, you know, I mean, most of that match you were in quantized, so it's really hard for me to talk about how to play him normally. Alright, and the last one for this set is DX. So this is Razor again. Alright. And he wants to know how to play forward as DX. Good, good. So this is a pretty commonly asked question with this suit. On this kind of iffy map. Ugh, so, you know, overheating. I would also just honestly throw up the assist. Just want the assist. Garby. Well, he's got the assist up now. Is he just gonna do it? Oh no, you should just do it. Just do it! Yeah! Good job. His partner died first though, but you know, okay, that's fine. You got a lot of damage. This is honestly like probably still in this team's favor, just because they did so much damage. As long as he gets his assist up, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so they're like, as long as he can do a little bit of damage before dying. Oh, he died. I was gonna say, as long as he can do a little bit of damage to their head, it's like kind of even now. Like, well, not really. His partner's pretty low now, but if you activate and you just... Oh, now I would just do my super. Just... No, oh, no. Oh my god! Ah! So close. So close. That was great, but you know, he needs his assist up. Ah! So close. So close. So close. So close. Alright, so, how to play forward as DX? Well, I think, you know, this player did a pretty decent job. The biggest problem with just movement is just, everybody in general in these matches is playing super fast, just too fast. Everybody's just doing like BR boost, BR boost, BR boost, BR, and they're just throwing their boost away. You know, boost is very, very precious. You should, you know, appreciate your boost. Boost is what wins games. Boost is what wins games. I will say that again. Boost is what wins games, right? Landing punishing and using your boost correctly and having clean movement is what wins games. That's pretty much the ultimate deciding factor in what wins games is how do you use your boost. Yeah. So we're seeing a lot of very poor boost usage because people are doing things like BR boost, BR boost, BR, and while that's like not terribly bad in a vacuum, you know, when it just leaves you overheated and you just like touch the ground and get hit over and over again, you know, and for what? To hit someone who was flying in the air. All right, so generally, you know, the thing I want to emphasize. And like, you know, so to answer Razor's question about playing DX front, make sure you have your assists. Later, Citrus, peace out, man. Make sure you have your assists. You know, but the rest just comes down to movement. You know, I would say a lot of players like to use DX's MA mode to spread out rockets, the missiles in his mobile armor mode. It's a really big part of his gameplay too. So I would recommend learning that if you like. Some people, you know, just only do that. Just go in the air and just spam missiles over and over again. It's pretty good neutral game tool. It's really, really good actually, especially when you don't have assist up. So using that to stall while you're waiting for assist is really good. Your partner died before you too, as well. So if your partner wants to play back, you know, you should really try. I mean, you're playing really aggressively. Like Razor was playing really aggressively. So, you know, so I would not say your partner died first, you should play faster. No, 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 no. Your partner, you know, your partner probably needs to slow down a bit, so you need to tell him, hit him over the head, etc. If your partner dies first, then it means you're playing back, and then we're not really at this discussion. But I believe your partner was 2K, 2.5K, I don't remember. So he should be dying second, you know. So, you know, again, like with a lot of these suits, you know, how to play them front, this was a question that was asked at least twice, and there's not really too much to it special. It's just, you know, core fundamental movement, and you know, playing front is just, you know, you're the one carrying. Just try and do your best and move properly. Yeah, good. So overall, with these guys, you know, I would say perhaps this is a coincidence, but you know, considering that they're like all playing on, this looks like it's LAN because it's like Battle Stage 2, 3, 4, whatnot. So this is probably like LAN. And you know, if these guys, for example, play casuals a lot together, then this makes sense with the pattern I'm seeing, which is like all four of them. They all play very similar in the sense that they all play really aggressively and they all play really fast. And as a result, what happens when people play really fast together is when people play fast together, people build bad habits together, right? This is why I stress on things like working on your movement and like slowing down your play, because when people play, and this is also why playing like against Japanese is really good if you're on the West Coast, because if you just play with like friends all the time, actually pretty much every single person I've met who only plays with friends develops this bad habit, and this has happened on multiple occasions. Even with people who are pretty decent relative to America, this happens. Which is, if you play only against people around your level when you're learning the game, everyone does the same thing, which is they play really fast. Why do they play really fast? They play really fast because it works. Because if other people are just like running around in the air, like mashing a bunch of off-angle stuff and like doing really weird movement, then your own spam is going to hit them because they're not moving very well. So you're like, oh, you know, while they're jumping, I'll just shoot all the time because it's going to hit people, right? And so, you know, basically it's just a cycle. It's a cycle. It's like you know, it's like playing against, you know, people in a fighting game. You're both really new, and neither one of you understands what it means to like play solidly or not mash. So you just like mash against each other, and you just end up DPing each other all the time because, you know, the other person's not really respecting your DP, so you DP all the time, and then like, you know, and then, you know, other people like you know, yeah. It's the same thing with this, you know. People are up in the air pressing a lot of buttons, not really caring about the way they land, and as a result, other people are pressing other buttons in the air too, because it's like, hey, you know, these people are getting hit by this random stuff I shoot in the air. If I just put more random stuff out, people will get hit by it, right? And you know, it looks like they have decent experience. You know, I see them doing some more advanced stuff, like they do Rainbow Step into Fua Step, right? They do melee into like Rainbow Fua Step to protect themselves. You know, that's not something like if we watch other like more beginning players, like, you know, people who are just picking up the game, like, you know, Thug and Drapopi and Imdrax, right? They don't play like this, right? They look a lot different. It looks a little more awkward, right? This doesn't look too awkward when we see them play. It's just like rushed. It's just like rushed and more just like, you know, just more bad habits, right? We look at somebody like Drapopi or Thug, right? They don't really make bad habits. They just don't know what they're doing yet because they're just picking up the game for the first time. So they're just not making decisions, right? These guys are making decisions, right? These guys are making decisions all the time. They're just generally like poor decisions built out of bad habits, right? So I think that's because they play together. So my overall advice for all four of them is just slow down your play. Focus on landing punch. It's clear at least that a couple people don't really understand like landing punishing. So I will just say again for like the nth time, this game is a landing punish game. You hit people generally because they're landing, not in the air. And this game, you know, this game rewards having solid movement and landing punching properly. This game is not Virtual On. So, you know, this is people compare this game to Virtual On, but the big difference between this game and Virtual On is that it's one-on-one first of all, and Virtual On like doesn't have like boosting. Virtual On doesn't have boosting really. Virtual On is just all about vector matching, and you just like spam at them, and it's all air to air. It's all air to air. This game is not about air to air. This game is not about air to air combat. This game is about like how air to air combat influences landing and the resulting situation after the air to air combat. It's about landing punishing. Again, this game is about landing punishing. All about landing punishing. All about landing punishing. But that's why it's a great game, because landing punishing is really deep. So my overall advice to all players is work on movement more. Work on not being so wasteful with your boost and valuing just, you know, free airtime that doesn't involve boost. And yeah, just slow down your play. Be less aggressive. Especially work on your roles. You know, the back player needs to really play back more and help the partner. Help your partner, and especially with a lot of people playing suits like Zeta and Delta Plus, make sure you jump and do a lot more rapid shot while jumping. It's just really clean, really good, hard to punish, really solid, basic tool in his repertoire. Probably the most fundamental and most important thing that those suits use. But yeah, again, I'll say this is really the case when maybe this is just a coincidence. You know, maybe they just got together this one time, and normally they play with like all kinds of random people. But my assumption is they probably play with each other a lot, or you know, at the very least, if that's not the case, then they all just kind of have the similar problem. But I've definitely observed this multiple times. Acidace also plays like this too. Like he just plays more, so he's like at a little more higher level, but he still has basically the same bad habits as this guy, which is, you know, Acidace also plays kind of like in net play with only his friends or whatever generally. So he has like developed a lot of like really fast decision making. Isn't very careful with his movement and presses melee a lot. Same with the the people who got like second and third at Evo last year, the Vancouver people. So the Vancouver people also, like, they play with each other all the time, and if you watch them play, they all play very, very similarly, which is they all kind of rush. They rush like really aggressively and stuff like that. And like, I'm not really saying this is like that bad, you know, like. If we watch Acid, we won't really take a look at Acid plays replays, but if we watch like game with Acid in it, you know, like it's not like he's doing anything really bad, but you can see the influence of like what I'd say is like incorrect upbringing, which is like, you know, not focusing on certain things. You know, like overall, you know, obviously, you know, he plays a lot, so he has good experience, and he's been to Japan and stuff as well, and you know, played with Japanese people. So you know, he's definitely. I know he's aware of like taking away those habits, but it's a pretty good example of like what you want to try not to have to deal with, you know, which is, you know, those kind of bad habits that come from who you play against, and not really focusing on your own play, and just focusing on what works. That's just like in fighting games, you know. If you're not really, you don't want to become Jan to Arc, right? It's pretty much what this kind of stuff is. It's like watching Jan to Arc play, right? And it works for him. He wins, right? But you know, you don't want to have to deal with like Jan to Arc, being a Jan to Arc, right? So it's the same thing. Good. All right. Any questions about this from anybody? Anything that they wanted me to elaborate on? Or touch more on, or they didn't understand about the things I covered with the set of replays before we move on. Alright, so let's grab some more. So we watched Thugs, we watched these 4 people from Cost Over. Is that it? I'm going on for a while now. We haven't watched Kumajaki's from this week. Let's see. Today is the 20... What? 20... Well, it's the night of the... is it 23rd? 4th, 11th, 17th, right. So... Imdrags, is this... Yeah, it's like the 24th. It's like 24th in the morning now in America. I obviously have my clock, so I know it's 6:17 p.m. on the 25th in Japan. But yeah, I guess maybe is this Imdrax? Is this replay for this week or was that last week's? Imdrax, I see. I think you're here. You here? Oh, Imdrax not here. Okay. I see this. I don't know if we covered this last week or not. I think we might have skipped him. Oh wait, it's the 25th? Is it 25th now? It was the 24th in America? Really? Hold up. I'm hella confused. Oh, so it was. Did I do this like... Wait. Today's... Wait, no, the 20... Oh, okay, no, that's right. Okay, okay. Okay, it is right. It's that, just that... Oh, there's that, like, how 7-hour gap before it becomes the 26th in Japan. Ah, okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Let's see here. I guess we can watch Cypher's play. Cypher submitted from last week, and we didn't get to look at them. He has some good questions to ask too. So we'll take a look at Cypher's replays. I believe this is Pokemon. Alright. Okie dokie. That lobby music. Alright, let's hope that this works. Alrighty. So let's take a look at these. Good, okay, so I don't know who this is. Is this Rock? Are there any other common? Looks like it's probably rock. I don't think there's any other common names. Okay, so we'll look at rocks. Okay. Oh, screen's black. Thank you. Alright, so his questions are, how do you approach God Master with a melee suit? What to do when your partner is a melee type mobile suit and you see melee type mobile suits? Okay. And how to approach a firepower type mobile suit when I use melee type mobile suit, especially God. Okay. Most of these are about playing as or against melee suits. So that's good. This is a really good topic to talk about. So we'll just take a look. Crimson, please. I think it's this one. This Dunamaz? Good. Alright. Ah, so red lock there. That would have been okay. Yeah, that's good. Alright, ow, ow, painful. Well, that's an actually... Yeah, it's... Ah. So I would say this boost, you know, be careful. Be careful here. And also this comp is, you know... This comp is a little bit of a problem. So... But, you know, they're getting pretty good at overcosting, so they can probably overcost this Keradim here. Ugh. Ah. So I would like to activate there. I would really like to activate there. Wow, so this full clot does not seem very good. It's okay. Yeah. You should get the landing punish, or a Vernier punish. Yeah, good activate. I would have liked it a little earlier, but good. Alright, ACA landing. So, thoughts on this replay? Well, we're gonna be seeing some more. I don't know how. I think it looked like there were only a couple with the Dunamis play. But generally, focus on, like, being more. What's the word? Focus on being a little bit less wild with your actual A shot usage, because a lot of time or your charge shot usage, you fire a lot of time when like 100% of the time it won't hit, even if they're standing still. Or doing like the laziest thing they could possibly do. So just focus on being more deliberate. That's what I want to use. More deliberate with your A shots. And you know, watch that Vernier too. You know, on angle. We don't want to be on angle or off angle. Yes, that's good. I think you could have avoided that if you had done a Rainbow Step combo, and you generally should have anyways to avoid cutting. So just work on that. So that Rainbow Step when you saw that they were too high is good, but the melee afterwards not so good. I would also like to see an activate here. You have shield bits too, so cut. Oh, I really don't like that. So you should never try to use Quantum Burst before you use your activate as Quanta. This is kind of like throwing the game here. You've pretty much like lost the game at this point, unless they're bad. Like you pretty much like lost the game. So if they lose this game, then it's probably because of this. I mean, their partners are double 3. Their opponents are double 3K. So that's that is that. But I'm sorry, he's double 3K. His team's double 3K, so they're probably gonna lose here because of this. Yeah, his partner's master, right? Yeah. So that's a good foot step, but you know, you're getting shot by like everybody. And, yeah. So I mean, there's not really much to say here other than, you know, your partner, you're playing double 3K, so you need to play back here. It's much better to have the master play front. And you went in and did pretty good, but then you got hit, and then you had an activate, and you quantize, and that's really just not good. You don't want to do that, even if you're playing back, even though that's your last life, and I understand that. Like, to win that match, it would have been. It would have needed to be a matter of using your extreme burst properly. It's like X Factor, you know, you just basically wasted your X Factor. It's like the equivalent. What he did was basically the equivalent of like X Factoring to reduce chip when like you were down a character, and only to reduce chip, and then like you don't have X Factor to actually win when you're like really behind. It's like that. Except like chip is like really big in Marvel, I guess, but you get it. So let me look at these questions again. So how to approach God/Master, okay, with the melee suit. So that's this one probably, yeah. And what to do when your partner's melee suit and you use a melee type suit. So how to play double melee. Okay, right. Well, first of all, if you're Quanta, right? So that hit could have easily been resolved if you just rainbow stepped a little earlier. So, you know, don't let your melee whiff. Who was having this problem before, too? Someone who's playing Gunner. Oh, we didn't look at Zephyrs yet. Let's look at Zephyrs after this. Who's playing Gunner? Who's letting that melee whiff? Was it Nurchill? No. It was someone who submitted. I forget who it was. Someone else was just like letting them just like Hail Mary. So make sure you rainbow step early, and don't let whiff too long or you'll get punished like that. That could have been easily remedied. And you have your shield bits here, so just be careful. That's an 8B problem. So I believe if you use 6B there, if you use 6B instead of 8B, you might have actually gone around the pillar. So 8B is like good too, but 6B does go around things, so it's generally a little safer to use 6B. But you also had shield bits, so you want to make sure you use your shield bits effectively. And honestly, like, Quanta has a pretty good matchup against melee. It's like, yeah, see, like, where are they gonna do that? About that? Oh, that was really awkward, but you should get this. No, so you should actually be able to punish that too. Yeah. Alright. Whoa, watch out. This is not good. Yeah. So that's 2B is good. But you don't want to wait the melee afterwards. Just 2B and then just land. You would have been okay. But the extra melee whiff, like that's happened both times that you've done that, is if you like do a dive kind of move or you change the height variance by a huge amount, just land. Don't try and melee him back because he's in green lock and you'll whiff it. Just land. If you're able to land, like if your melee suit was chasing you and you 2B like this and land, that's fine. The rainbow step, just don't do anything. Just touch the ground. You win. Like, right? If they're doing this melee and you were able to land, then you're just perfectly fine. You're perfectly fine. You do not need to melee them. Just land. Watch for them to land and just shoot them. And what are they gonna do about it? Yeah. So this is good. Just bits over and over again. I don't agree with that at all. This is really bad, so don't quantize in your first life. Oh, wait, what? Wait, why'd your partner die? It's still kind of not worth it, honestly. Because you can't really do much now, and you don't, rule of thumb, like, I said this before, but I'll say it again, rule of thumb, as Quanta, if you have burst up, use it before Quantum Burst. Don't Quantum Burst when you have a burst up, because you're activating when you're in Quantum Burst doesn't really do much. You BR, I guess, but it's much better if you're actually in normal mode. You want that normal mode activate with the shield bits and stuff. You don't want to be this pathetic thing. It's just like the sass suit in the whole game. Good. Good. All right. So honestly, the Quanta match is pretty easy for melee, or it's pretty easy against melee as Quanta because you're a melee too, but you also have like a solid BR. So I would say 2B is good. Shield bits, just throw out shield bits and run away until you have shield bits. Just throw up shield bits and they can't do anything. It's pretty easy, a lot easier than lawsuits. So this is probably the how to play with a melee partner. Well, you should just be aggressive here and let your partner take good opportunities, but don't so that melee was really far off. It was not a very good gamble. I probably would have just suggested landing after the 2B. So I'd say my biggest point to work on is when you 2B with Quanta, don't feel like you need to mash melee at them after 2B. Just land. Landing with 2B is really good. You don't have to mash melee. Yeah, we're gonna watch Zephyrs after this, and we'll probably make that the last one because it's getting pretty late. So we'll do the other ones next week, unless some people want to resubmit. So we'll look at Kumojaki's replay next week. And I'm not entirely sure if Imdrax submitted for this week or last week, so I'll ask him and then we'll find out whether we actually reviewed that or not. Oh, I'm surprised. You should have been dead there. So, his partner has a ton of health still, if I recall. I mean, a good amount. Can we see it? Yeah. So his partner still has 60% health left. So, you should, after you died once, you really want to just try and play support more rather than rushing in. Kind of rushing in. I mean, now obviously he's going to run away, but yeah, a little bit too late to play defensively there. So when you're playing with the melee suit, my suggestion would normally be, when he goes in, try and make sure you cut him. Most important thing is make sure you cut him. So make sure you cut him, and yeah, make sure you cut for him. Make sure you get landing punches when he creates opportunities. But here you're Quanta, so you're playing front, and as Quanta when you're playing front, like Quanta God, Quanta wants to be front there, regardless of how good at melee God is, So you should really, in that situation, obviously your partner was playing too aggressively, and at that rate, there's not much you can do to play back, but I would honestly just not really worrying about the problem. It's not really you there, it's your partner, and I guess you had to play back, but you should just try and tell your partner to play back, and use comms, or if you're playing in real life, and yell at them. So Godfield Dash is okay, but it's not. I wouldn't really recommend using it as your primary means of closing in, because yeah, you get a really awkward landing. So I would recommend not using Godfield Dash here. Actually, Godfield Dash is okay, but and you want to be playing a little more close here, because yeah, I mean your partner is kind of in need of great help. Yeah, so try and connect with pillars. Alright. Yeah, that's good. Alright. Alright. Ooh, just use A. Just use A. Use A. Use A. So, my biggest recommendation when you're playing as God, Cypher, is just press A more. Yeah, well, you have Activate, so this silly God field business is okay, but you actually can probably get a God finger here. I would honestly say that the Godfield Dash is really not that amazing. Like it has its uses, and it's but it should not be the primary way of moving in because it has too many openings. So I would just say focus more on normal boost dashes, not just moving in with Godfield. And use A more as a means of connecting, because his pillar is probably the strongest tool. So like there, just press A. I mean, this is okay. It landed, but yeah, there you go. Yeah, just use A more all the time. A is just so good. A lot of these scenarios where you're pressing melee, if you just press pillar instead, and just use the pillar, it would be a lot better. Good. All right. So again, overall, what I would say of these, with Quanta, well, I'll go inversely. So with God, try and use more boosting and just normal movement. Don't rely on Godfield for all your movement. In addition, use your pillar more, like all the time. It's just a really good move with a really fast reload. There's no reason not to just pour that move out. Lastly, what can I say? That's pretty much it for God, and those two main things. We really have to see that before we can talk about anything else. With Quanta, definitely try and work on remembering not to just mash melee after 2B. Landing is often quite fine after 2B, and honestly, in a lot of cases, the best thing to do. So try and just land after 2B if you do it. I mean, 2Bing in the middle of like a melee fight, and then rainbow stepping into melee is okay. But if you're trying to like avoid and stuff, just you don't need to press melee. Just land after 2B. There's nothing wrong with that. And just remember to just try and play front. Try and work on using your activates outside of Quantum Burst mode, because Quantum Burst is just really bad. Try not to Quantum Burst on your first life. Try and die first. And I know a lot of that is the fault of your partner, but definitely if you can help it, either with comms or yelling at people in real life or however you want to do it, you really do want that second life, because it's really hard to watch these when you're just playing. When you die second, you're overcosted, and we don't really get to see you do anything except be in Quantum Burst mode. There's really not to talk about much in that mode other than just basic fundamentals. The rest is just basic movement, make sure you're conscious about being off angle and stuff like that. But I think the biggest ones were just don't quantize so we can see your actual quantum play, With Dunamis, I would just say be a little more deliberate with your shots. A lot of the time you just kind of shoot wildly when they're clearly not going to get hit by it. So just focus on working more on landing punishing with your shots, and yeah. And understanding like when the angle is bad, specifically when they're high up. You try and shoot a lot of time while they're falling, you're high up, and it just will always miss. So just remember the vertical muzzle correction on it's not that good. It also has to do with distance too, obviously. So yeah, okay. Let's move on. There's a couple grunt suits, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Alex is kind of a grunt suit, even though it's a Gundam. Zaku Kai is a grunt suit of sorts. Berga's a grunt. Well, I guess Berga's not a grunt suit. I don't know. There are not too many of them that are like actually truly grunt suits. But there are a lot that are like get close. Alex hardly counts. It's pretty much like, I mean, like, it's as good as a Zaku. That's saying anything. But there's basically a cost. There's a cost for basically shitty suits. Some of them aren't that shitty, but It's better than RX-78, really? Okay, fine. Well, Zaku Kai, I guess. I guess Zaku 3 is not a grunt suit. I guess Agai is an actual legit grunt suit, so Agai is a grunt suit. Agai, Zaku Kai, I guess. I think that's it. but that guy for sure. I don't know. Honestly, like Berga's, Berga like, oh, gun easy, yeah, gun easy, yeah, gun easy. Berga too. I mean, like, you know, Berga, it's that dude with the eye patches. Oh, easy 8. Yeah, I guess easy 8. Yeah, easy 8. Alright, so this is at first. Alright, there's a lot of replays. Let's watch from the top first. Most recent. Oh, I don't know if goof counts. I don't remember. I don't know what the thing tank is from, so I don't know if it's a Gruncy or not. And also, yeah, it's a goof custom. Alright, well, we'll just watch like the top 3 or 4 then. Alright, good. So first of all, no holding, right? Try not to hold down the lever, you don't, or the button when you boost. Just boost once. You know, you don't want the long held boost. Playing really up front, right? So just be aware of spacing, right? I don't remember what cost your partner is. Let's go ahead and rewatch this. But you know, try to. Your partner is. Well, your partner is Strike Noir. In theory, he should be playing front here. So you should try and, you know, work to play along with your partner. Just like watch what he's doing and play behind him, basically. So you're playing really close. It's like, this is okay because you got that shot, but you know, make sure you don't do these long holds. Yeah. So when you boost, just do CC and make sure to go back to neutral. That's the important point. Don't hold your lever. Yeah. So I would just going in training mode and practicing basic movements. You know, just practicing like boosting. Yeah. And jumping too. Boost hopping. Yeah. So make sure you do boost jump. You know, CC C. C. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's the wall, so it can't really be helped. Yeah, good. So you get that. That's good. Make sure you use your assists. Your assists are also quite good. So you want to use your assists here. Well, not here, but oh well. You get meleeed there, but. Ah. So make sure also, yeah, good. You can actually combo off that. It's a little hard because of the screen, but you know, just try and press A afterwards. You know. No, I think you need to red lock her assist. I believe you need to red lock it. It's like one of the things is you definitely want to use your assist. So one of the things you can easily, remedy or you can easily make better is work on making sure you always use up your assists before you die. Yeah. So you notice that you were at like 330 life there or whatever, and you had 3 assists already. So you should just sit there and just assist. You know, if anything else, you know, your assist is really, really good. So just focus on using your assist before you die, and also using your activate. I don't think you used your activate there. So it's ABC. Remember that your activate refills your ammo. It refills your ammo, so always try and use all 3 assists up before using your activate. You want to optimally do like 3 assists and activate, then 3 assists again before you die. And also, yeah, just make sure you don't get these long boost health. Yeah, so this is good seeing you hit him there. All right, that's better than nothing. Yeah, there you go. So these held boosts, you know, really gotta fix those. Yeah, I mean this honestly, this scenario didn't work out too terribly. Oh, I guess it kind of did, but yeah. I mean, Prototype is mailing people, so it's good. And just try and do more boost hops. Yeah, but just definitely try and not do your hold. You know, not boost hold. Just boost hop. Yeah, and watch your boost. You know, there's nothing wrong with landing early. Yeah, this isn't the kind of game where you want to be in the air as much as possible. You want to choose when you're in the air and when you're on the ground. Yeah, so just make sure. Just make sure that you don't hold boost, and try and do boost jumps more. Yeah, so these long held boosts definitely need to never do them. Basically, never do them. If you want to boost, if you want to go forward long ways, then do boost into jump. It's much safer. A held boost is just very, very, very inefficient. All right, so hopefully you throw this out somewhere. It's a pity you didn't get to use your super, but I know you're aware of it because you used it in the last game. So these held boosts, you know. Ow, that's a problem. Also in terms of health, so your partner is a 1k, So he has 2 lives left, and you're about to die. And so at this point, what you want to do is you actually want to just run away and let your partner support. Ah! Oh wow. Luckily, you only got hit by one of those. You might have died if you got hit by both. So Constant overheat is due to health boost. It's not that. Yes, it does, Roxelle. There is like no real reason to ever hold down a boost very long. Like there are, but they're just really advanced. I could discuss times when holding down the boost is useful, but I will say for now, just don't worry about it. It's better to forget that that option exists forever and then relearn it as an option later on. Because it's very specific when you actually want to hold it down. It does have some use for, like, for example, Zeta and Delta Plus, because you get your rapid shots off. Like, you get, like, Zeta, for example, because you get to shoot all 3. That's the only one I'll say for now. Even with a Vulcan-like gun, it's better to just boost and jump, though. That's the thing. If you have something that's held down, like, you might as well just boost and jump. Oh, whoops. Cody, please. So I think the big thing I'm going to say, Zephyr, is you need to work on playing as a support. You're playing very, like, aggressive in front. Your suit and your cost are both more suitable for playing support. So generally just try and be behind your partner. Good, your that guy fucked his boost up and you hit him. Good job. So, you know, just like focus on protecting your partner. Focus less on being like the carry. Because I think, you know, if we just watch your positioning here, you're playing really up close. Like, you know, a rule of thumb is like, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, if you're in neutral, you should try and be able to see both targets at the same time. That's a pretty good, you know, unless they're on like other sides of the screen, you know. Oh, it's okay. You know, these meta is not really important. You know, for now, I mean, you're still really, really new to the game, so you just need to get the basic groundwork down. You know, so for now, you know, my main advice is don't get the long-held melees. Like, watch like a video or watch someone else play, and just watch the way they move. Yeah. So your movement's really sloppy right now. So you just gotta work on your movement. Watch like Munsu or I mean, you know, any other gunner player, honestly. See, like you're already in front of your partner, right? You need to be behind him. Don't play up front like this. Like I know you just want to get in red lock, but if your partner's not in red lock, you know, you're gonna be targeted. You know, so this is good. Yeah, saying that assist. And also, your character stands still while you shoot that shot. So you want to make sure you boost dash out of it like as fast as possible. You don't want to like just sit there after, and you don't want to sit idly while your shot goes off in the recovery, because the recovery is really bad. So you want to make sure you cancel out of your recovery into boost dash like instantly. That sucks, but you know, you live and learn. Yeah. Just remember, yeah, like Prototype said, it's very well phrased, which is, you know, people almost always target the person closest to them. That's just how this game works. Yeah. A nice suicide attempt by Proto. But you know, your partner, your opponents almost always target the person closest to them. So if you're closer than your partner, you're going to be targeted. And that's pretty much how you play support. The website you're thinking of is Nico Nico. So if you just did your super here, good. Oh, unfortunate, but it's okay. It was worth a try. Better try it and it didn't work than just not do it at all. Good. Yeah, your aim was stepped. Good. Can't help that though. There's not really much you could do. All damage has slight guts, but it's like on the factor of like 3% or something. Good. So I think we'll stop here. This is pretty... For optimizing boost and sorry for repeat, how is the slide? For example, when Dragon comes out of boost in the ground. Yeah, okay, so this will conclude, like, Second Impact. I'm now going to take a slight tangent to talk a little bit more about the stuff I was explaining to Rox out.